Yo, what's up, Banter fam? Welcome to the show. I'm joined here by Sounds Tricky. Welcome.
Oof.
Man,
Oof.
Marcus died last night.
Hey, look at this.
dear.
Look at this. Hey. Show me. Show this. Uh-oh. This is
Bulls
not
placing
good.
bid walls to avoid liquidation.
Oh my gosh. I've kept it muted on purpose just in case anyone
Don't
worry.
I hate seeing that. They're the Bulls right now. That's what the Bulls are trying to do. They're bidding and they're bidding and they're bidding, and the Bears are just taking over.
It's literally how I felt, though.
Like a train. Just to quickly update you guys before we get into the show of what's actually going on here. We are basically going to be streaming for, I don't even know how many hours, but we're just going to go live and just basically have fun on this show. There's a few things we want to cover. Obviously, the market, why it collapsed and what kind of our macro outlook is on the market. Look through some charts. Look at the key levels, we're looking at in terms of opening some trades and also accumulation. We're going to be going through our entire altcoin list and looking at the altcoins that we want to accumulate. And we're literally going to be talking about every single altcoin in today's show. And we're also, I know you degens like to hear this, we're also going to be doing some live trading on the show, or at least setting some orders on the show for some of our trades. We actually had a pretty successful night, didn't we?
We've had a good day. Yeah, we've had a really
good day.
I've had a ripper day actually, which has been nice. So last night, for anyone who wants to know how this came about, Miles and I spent about 4 hours on a call last night just talking about everything that was going on. And so we kind of, during that call, we were just going over everything and doing it. And we put in a few trades, and we put in a really nice leverage trade for Bitcoin to bounce off 17.5, I think we did, or 17.4. It was literally, we put it in on the nose, which was amazing. And we got the bounce this morning, and our time, it's really weird. So I missed the whole crash and everything like that overnight in Australia because I was sleeping. And then I woke up this morning, and I was in profit on a nice little Bitcoin bounce from 17.6 or whatever it was, that price where we got down, what was it? 17.6. Yeah. And literally we got it right on. So ever since then, it's been a good run. I cashed out pretty much in about a couple 150, 100% profit or something like that. I think yours is still going, right? You'd be up more now.
Mine's still riding. So just to give you guys a bit of context into how we kind of frame this trade, if we just switch from the weekly to the 4-hourly here, there was two key levels. The key levels we were looking at after breaking these two major trend lines was this box from 17.1 up to 19. And then we had the next key level around the 12K to the 14K. I did say in a tweet yesterday that if we didn't hold this box, then the next box we can expect to come and capture some liquidity in is the 12 to 14K region. Obviously, that major Celsius liquidation point is in this box too. But I think basically, we just wanted to trade this box. So what we did was we knew this was kind of the bottom because just give you a bit.
No, not the bottom, but just a step
of the range.
I don't know about calling it about saying
no, the bottom of the range. Course,
this
was the next level. And that was because it was in line, with these major points here. And it's also in line with the previous high that was set in 2018. And if we go across further into the horizontals, we know that this is a key level as well, this 12K level. And that we had multiple touch points on that level as well. And also with the moving averages, it looks like these were the main points of notice. And that's basically how we traded this. So we wanted to open a trade as close to the bottom as close to the bottom of this as possible. We did kind of front run it a little bit. I think, when did we open? 17.6?
It was late last night. It was late our time. So it would have been like almost 24 hours ago that we opened it.
Yeah.
It was literally this time. It was this time yesterday that we did it. So it was pretty much bang on. And we posted, you know how you can check on your Twitter. Check on your Twitter account. Because we posted it on your Twitter last night when we were just in the depths of, are we going to die in crypto, and is crypto going to die?
Exactly 24 hours ago.
It was, right?
Yep.
Nailed it.
And we did get that bounce. So I think I closed half my position. It was a relatively small position. Relatively speaking, for my portfolio, I just put 1,000 in, cashed out the first 400 profit, still have 550 unrealized. Looking at closing this soon, and kind of taking the clean K profit. I kind of wanted to, but like 110% on a trade is pretty good. So, we did well on that one.
Yeah, it was a good get. And then I think I cashed out this morning and I dropped a short on BNB, took it down, and now I am looking at setting up another short, which
All right,
looks
show us your charts.
looks like it's going to play out perfectly.
We may hit some trades. I don't know if we'll hit some trades now or in an hour or maybe 2 hours, but we may hit some on the show. This is basically going to be everything.
Yeah,
just fun hanging out with you guys, answering questions.
Just chilling, bro. I've got red wine. Woo! It's Sunday. It's Sunday night in Australia, so it's like the end of the week for us, and we're just feeling like we need to unwinding time.
We're just chilling, interact with you guys, like just have a good fun stream on a Sunday night and just cover everything. It's kind of
so. What I'm doing now, what I'm going to do is, so this was our break of market structure right here, which we can obviously see is what happened. So we've broken down, we've hit what we said was going to be our support, which is going to hopefully set up our next range, and we've bounced off that. Then this was our next high, or the high that was previously set earlier today. So we've just broken that now. So then now the next logical thing is going to be retesting this market structure break that we've had already. So for
what's
me,
that level?
that level, let me jump on to, sorry.
Sorry, by the way, I have COVID right now, everyone. That's why I haven't been streaming. I will be coughing throughout this stream, but I wanted to go live, so just bear with me there.
So for me, that level sits between about 2,300 and about 2,140. So 2,140 to 2,300 is the range. Yeah. And now I see it, and not financially. This is what I'm doing. Don't do it. I don't think you should do it. It's not a good idea. Blah blah. Meh, whatever. It's going into here. I think it's going to come into here, and then we're going to pull back down, because at the moment we're only seeing downward momentum. So this is small bounce, and I don't know. I reckon that's what we got.
Yeah, so that's the range we're going to look at during this show. If we can set up a nice short there, I think we're going to take it.
I'm going to set it up now anyway, because I'm playing this show or no show. This is a me trade. Right. I had this one sorted, so I'm doing it.
Set it up right now. Just before we do any trades, just remember it's not financial advice. I'm not as experienced as a trader as Sheldon. I've been doing it for
me either.
A few months. But I'm mainly focused on DeFi and fundamentals, but trading something that I do with a small percent of my portfolio. So like, why not share them with you guys, right? Why not be transparent? Just share everything we're doing in the market. One of which is trading. So just remember, not financial advice. You don't need to copy trade us. But obviously that's, some of you will, that's inevitable, but don't copy us. we're just doing our thing live on the show, and you guys can watch and hang out with us. And
this channel for me is pretty clean, right? So just this downward channel, it's pretty scary though, just how much downward momentum we're having at the moment. It's freaking me out a little bit, but whatever. Let's not scare everyone at the same time.
All right, so what's the level?
So I reckon in here somewhere. So I'm not gonna tell you where I'm putting mine exactly, but I think this is the range. So we're looking at, let me just zoom in a bit more for everybody. So we're looking at I'm doing between 138 and 370. So obviously there's a 20 in front of that because of Bitcoin. So 21,378 and up there, and I'm putting in a short there. Now, I don't know if we're going to make it. It feels like we're already rejecting now anyway. So maybe we might have been front runner bumped out. But what I'm not going to do is chase the short down. That's for sure.
We won't chase the short down, but if we do get to 20, it might be a trade. Although my only qualm with this trade is at this point, 20K, just as strong as it was as a support zone, it's now kind of like this psychological resistance as well. But
that's why I reckon we're going down. That's exactly why I reckon we're going down.
Of course, wouldn't you be more inclined to short at 20 than 20.1?
Nah, because you've got this. Are we still on my screen or your screen?
I mean, the technicals are showing.
It's the range. It's the range. Yeah, it's this range, right? This is where we've had everything pulling in and out of it. So it's somewhere in here. So I mean, look, honestly though, like if I go down now on the 30, it looks like it's going to not even get there. So
your resolution's terrible, apparently. Let me just double check. That's actually the case.
Is it? My resolution's terrible. No, it looks okay here.
It's not on my screen. Maybe it is on the phone.
Someone said, I think you should long. Okay. I don't know. You should. I don't reckon you should long because of this here. This is not long time. This is short time. Everything is going down. See, look here. Look, this is lower high.
Yeah, the
lower
res is
high,
good now, bro.
lower
Just internet.
high.
Mm.
We've just come back up here. We've just made the very first higher high from the market structure point of view in ages, but we haven't even reclaimed the previous break of market structure, which is this. This is the market. This was the market structure that was set and it's broken down. Now we're going back to it. The only way you would long at this point is if we break this. Let me draw it for everybody. Where are we here? Is if we break this, come back down, and that's where you would long again.
That's
right
the spring.
now,
So you want to long the retest.
you do not want to long now. There's no. I mean, I can't see anyone long. I can't see the long being successful now. No chance. No, not for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to do my short, like I said. So I'm doing 20. I'm doing 2,200. And I'm putting my stop loss at 21,100. Super risky. Don't do it. This is not a good idea. This is us drinking red wine on a Sunday night and just having some fun. Fuck it, right? Whatever. So let's just do this. Open a short. Okay, cool. I mean,
so people just quickly. Some people in the comments are like, leverage trading is risky. You know, you're going to get wrecked shorting. The thing to understand, guys, is like the percentage I use for leverage trading is like so much smaller than the portfolio will be referencing mostly on these shows. Like it's like less than 1% of my entire crypto net worth, right? So, you know, if I get stopped out, if I have a 20% stop on a 1% trade, 0.2% of my portfolio, or probably even a lot less in most cases, is not going to, in fact, a lot less, because I don't trade with my entire trading position. It's not going to affect me. So that's exactly how it should be. Like, leverage trading is not a solution to chase losses. It never is. We saw the 3AC situation highlights that. Leveraging crypto is dangerous, 100%. But having a small percentage of your portfolio that you can afford to, you know, quote unquote, gamble with and trade with is fine. Like, that's why we're doing this, just for a bit of fun, get some cash flowing. Trading's a great way to make a bit of cash on the side, but it's by no means our like primary occupation. No.
And I think just like, don't try and revenge trade.
Yeah.
Far out. There's been some horrible stories about people who have just been trying to catch up. I read this story before about a poor guy who was trying to do he's been trying to build up his portfolio, and he was only doing small amounts. He had a $5,000 portfolio, and then he went in on a short that he lost. And so he went back in to try and make the money back that he just shorted because he got stopped out. And he doubled the amount he put in, and then he got stopped out of that as well. And so then from a $500 trade that he was trying to get up on, he ended up losing $5,000 in the space of like 20 minutes.
Nasty.
Because he kept going back. I think that's, you know, just know when to cut and run, right?
Exactly. Know when to cut and run.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll put that in. Yeah, look, keep your leverage low. Yeah.
Well,
What'd you do?
See, I just got to be honest on the shows. Like, I'm a degen. Like, usually I trade 7 to 10x leverage. But then you just need a tighter stop, right?
Yeah. So I think I did. What did I do for mine? I'll tell you what I put in for my stop. It was super tight.
It's a story about Sheldino. I don't think it is.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a group that I'm in. A Telegram group, and it's one of the guys who was telling me the story about what happened to him.
Also, guys, if you do want to trade with us
in those groups,
if you do want to join in on this trade,
we might get it.
There is a BYBIT link in the description to sign up, and you know, I recommend using the link just because you'll get the sign up bonuses, and you know, it's also good. That's how we pay for things on the channel. You know, I don't consider it shilling really, because it's like it's good for both of us. We make money, you make money, keeps the channel running. Keeps us, you know, able to make amazing content, and ran also 10x's portfolios on the show. So if you want to sign up, join in some of these trades, I highly recommend using that link in the description to get involved.
Yeah, there's a bonus sign up as well, right?
I think it's up to 4,200, so it's pretty good, pretty good.
So
We've
if
done
you
a good deal.
if you put in 4,200, they give you a free 4,200. Is that what you mean?
No, it's like tiered. So the more you like if you deposited 10 grand, you'd get more than someone depositing 500.
Okay.
I don't think it's a 1-to-1 match, but it's pretty good. But I mean, the real fun thing is the 10x's on the show. I think once ran like 10x someone's $1,000 portfolio to 10k, which was crazy.
What? That's pretty good.
That was crazy. And also, yeah, Banter NFTs. We will be rewarding our most loyal followers. So there's a few rumors floating around about them, but I think that's definitely happening. And the ones that sign up will be the ones that get there first, get the NFTs first. So yeah. All right. Are you gonna open this trade yet? Are you ballsy enough to do it live on the show?
Oh, I just did it.
You just did it. So what was the trade? Let's.
Okay. No, I'll just use these here. So I've just done exactly what's on the screen. So basically, if you look at this box here, this was my entry point. Is here. So the line where the blue is, so you can see it just coming over here, which is pretty much 22.15. But I think I did 22.00 because I like even numbers and it helps my OCD. So I entered there and I put my stop loss at 21.08. And then I'll be looking to cash out at around this area down here, depending on what kind of momentum we've got, if we've got any momentum at all.
And what did you set your?
That's the trade. I did. I did a bit of leverage.
Oh dear, what leverage?
Probably don't do it. I did 15 on this.
Oh no, Tricky! What are you doing to me?
15 leverage. Don't do it though. Don't do it. Let's just see what happens. But probably don't. Oh, here we go. Oh God, scary time. Anyway,
and we're not professional traders. We are DeFi fundamentalists, analysts. But we trade for fun. Yeah, just know that.
While this is going on, I think weren't we going to talk about that?
We're going to talk about a lot, man. I'm just logging into my BYBIT right now. So
have you got it? Do yours.
Yeah, I just got to log in using my authentication code.
Not get it.
I can't share live, or people might steal all my money. So 1 sec.
Might not get it.
Talk us through the charts in the meantime.
Yeah, so I think on a larger full-on macro scale, as people like to say, I had this one set up from before. These are my kind of key levels that I'm looking at for Bitcoin. I think it was on a weekly I set this up, actually. 22.6. Let's have a look. Yeah, so this is my weekly, kind of looking at it like this. If we break here and keep going down, then obviously the next support's at about 16. Now, I think a little while ago I put up, when did I do this tweet, Miles? You remember? And everyone gave me slack for it. It was...
Which one? There's a lot of people give you slack
my full degen tweet that I put up a few weeks. I don't know. I feel like it was... When was it? The 14th. So that was 5 days ago. So I said if we keep falling, that was when we were above 20 still. So I said if we keep falling, these are the levels I'm going to be entering with no stop loss. And you'll have a liquidation point of about 9K. Total degen shit. Do not fucking do this. Is risky as fuck. This is not what you do. But I'm doing it anyway because I want to. So we hit the 17 already. So we did that and I've cashed out of that already. And now I'm going more into the 16 because I can't see us not getting there at this point. I feel like we're going to 16. That's just me. Take it or leave it. I reckon we're going to go there. And I also kind of feel like this is a massive possibility. But this is the big one, I reckon, around that 13, 14 for me, is if I flick back over here in this area here is where, in this one here, going down a little bit as well is where I reckon we'll get the massive bounce out. That's where we'll just wick in and we'll wick out, which a lot of people are saying, but fingers crossed that's what ends up happening. I'm kind of banking on it because I'm going to have this in at about 14 and I'm not going to have a stop loss because my liquidation point will be on a 3x leverage somewhere down here. And I'm hoping that I can ride that for the next year.
Yeah. So this is roughly the setup I'm looking at doing. Averaging in, starting with $500. Of course, the size you put in is relative to the size of your accounts. I'm doing 2100. Is that what you did as well?
Yes, I did. Let me check. Sorry, let me just double check.
So I'm putting 500 in. This may not even hit. We may get rejected at 20, but we can see the range here pretty clearly is in this pocket here. So if we take this low and kind of channel it up to these highs, that'll roughly be where you get stopped out. So it's kind of like
I did 21,200 for my end.
This rejection back into this box. Not that you can go backwards in time. You did what? 20?
I did 21,200.
21.2.
Yeah. But
21.2, not 21.
No, sorry. God.
Say
too many
say
zeros. 20200.
Okay. Yep.
20,200. Speak, mister. Speak.
Yeah. So I'm putting this in with stop loss of 27.50. I'm using 10x leverage. Once again, don't copy us. But that is obviously freaking system error, man. Probably
was that a Binance error?
Not good branding. Okay, went through then. That's the order. So,
got it.
Not filled yet, obviously. That's the short. 2,100. $500 with stop loss at 27.50.
I wish we could have music on these things. Far out.
So yeah, let's just see how it goes throughout the show. We're going to be looking at other scalps with other alts. That's more a setup probably that'll play out over the next hour or two. So we'll just keep an eye on that. Remember, if you want to trade, use the link in the description. We're not expert traders, not claiming to be, but we do have a bit of fun with it. And we did do pretty well with this long here. Kind of weird that I'm longing and then shorting against it, but I think there is a little bit of a push up to 20, which is probably when I'll close this. But if we do start breaking down, probably at this level here, 19.5, I will close this because
I reckon cash out.
19.700 was the rejection. I mean, I'm not.
Get out. Get out soon. I mean, you've made good money on that. Like I got out ages ago of that one. I wanted to pocket the cash. Yeah.
I mean,
where are you at now?
I mean, we can close it. I'm not like super fussed. I mean, close then.
There you go. Jackpot. Happy days.
Yeah.
Miles making bank, baby.
That was a nice so, that was a good trade. It was
a great trade.
Bit of fun.
But don't forget as well, like until you do that, it's not your money, right? Like you got to cash out. Until you cash out, it's not your cash. So now it's yours.
Exactly.
Now it's your
cash.
Right.
Let's leave this trading stuff for a little bit. We're going to revisit it. Maybe even later, Rand can join us live on the show and have a chat.
I thought this was hilarious, this tweet. Sorry. Just something that was funny.
Make it bigger.
Okay, so I think it's this one, right? Or is it? That one.
So funny.
It's the new rainbow chart. So he's just added in a few more bands down below, which is absolutely hilarious. I laughed my ass off when I saw this for ages. Very, very funny. Something funny in a shitty time when everyone's struggling. It's always good to have a bit of a laugh at these kind of things.
Pride trading, bro. It's Pride Month, all right?
It's Pride Month. Is it month or? Yeah, well, it is here anyway.
Month.
Is that just an Australian thing or is that a worldwide
Happy
thing?
Pride Month. Shout out to all my LGBTQ plus community. Shout out to you guys. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month, y'all.
Will the rainbow give us some bullishness?
We have the Pride Bitcoin rainbow chart. It's just going strong. Hopefully,
I was going to say, do you remember when this was just everywhere? Do you remember when this chart was just the be all and end all? I reckon PlanB was obviously a large, contributing factor as to the success of the popularity of that chart. But man, that was everywhere.
Did PlanB set us all up to fail though?
PlanB had an interesting tweet today. I'm going to show you his tweet.
Was it him or Plan C? I saw Plan C had an interesting tweet as well.
Should I start an account called Plan D?
But I think we need a Plan D, and then hopefully we don't need a Plan Z, because if we need a Plan Z, then we're all fucked.
Dude, this is just him and Richard Hart arguing.
Sorry?
Richard Hart was arguing against this guy. So he posted 4 indicators. Does this mean that they're all debunked? No, investing is a game of probabilities. Bitcoin is oversold. That was his big claim. This last one was the most shocking one. How the Bitcoin relative strength index is the lowest it's been since ever. So worst crypto crash in history for relative strength, worst crypto crash in history dollar-wise. So when we say it's the worst crypto crash ever, it's by no means an exaggeration.
No.
It's by far.
Hey, so massive shout out to everyone who's still here and still watching, because everyone's got fucked. Sorry.
Yeah. Shout out to you guys. You guys are the loyal ones, but you guys are the ones that are here to grow with us.
Made it.
And come out the other side ahead, right? We're gonna make some huge progress over the next few months.
Yeah.
And we're gonna come out the other side really strong. In fact, while I'm on this motivational tangent, this is a big conversation point I wanted to bring up, and we'll get into altcoins, get into all that. We got time tonight. We're gonna chill, hang out with you guys.
We're just chilling.
But this was the point I made on my Twitter today. And I said 2021 was the ultimate primer for the next cycle. Retail awareness is now extremely high. So just breaking down these points a little bit. Retail awareness was basically the entire point of 2020, 2021. The massive ad campaigns we saw across crypto, the massive influx of new customers, the massive marketing pushes means that basically there's not a single person that doesn't know what crypto is now in 2022, which is a pretty valuable thing, because when we go into this next cycle, you're going to see a situation where, many people that didn't know about crypto now will want to get involved, or at least will be more inclined to, because they weren't that aware of the market or crypto, or even what it was a couple of years ago. That's probably the biggest takeaway, as Rand's spamming me right now. Rand says, log out of StreamYard, your resolution shot.
Is it really bad?
Take over for a sec. I'm going to log out and go back in.
Okay, we're taking over. So we'll go back over to here. So I think on the back onto this one here, let's take a look at this if we can jump onto it. So I think it looks like we're rolling over on the chart as well. So we might not get that trade, which is a bit of a bummer. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see if it happens or if it doesn't happen. So I don't know how to get this other screen up, actually. There we go. You're back. Is that better?
Back. Let me just check live.
Yeah. It looks good to me.
I think I look good. I'm looking at myself.
Yeah, it looks okay at this end as well.
Nah, we look good. I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Let us know if it gets worse. But I think we look good. So that's the first point. The retail awareness is now extremely high. My sound is off. Wow.
No, your sound is fine, man. Your sound is fine.
Can everyone stop fudding?
Everyone's fudding the stream.
Everyone's fudding. Joe's fudding.
Fud the stream. Fud the stream. Miles, what's wrong with your hair, bro?
Me,
hey, if you brush your teeth, I can smell your bad breath. It's not. I don't understand. The thing is that some people might have bad internet at their end as well. So don't forget that.
Yeah, Ran, this is a notice to you. Your internet's horrible. Joe, your internet's horrible.
I see clear. I can see clearly now.
Thanks for letting us know, guys. The charts aren't good. I think that's the issue. I think the charts are a bit blurry. Guys, we're in Australia. We're so far down under that the internet, for some reasons.
We're so far down under, it's nighttime here.
Oh, we look great. Turn your mic on. Fuzzy, I know you're fudding here, bro. It's on.
It's on, bro. I can hear him. I can hear him through my headphones. It's on.
All right. That's the first point.
Cool.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, totally. When my mum said to me, hey, what do you think about me buying some Bitcoin? That was when I knew that the retail awareness was at a whole new level. Because once Mumzo jumps on board and wants to get involved in the Bitcoin, we've gone mainstream, that's for sure. And I think
that's the thing about these people, though, right? Like, these people may not have even invested in this first cycle. They may have invested, they may have lost money, but they know about it now. People that didn't know.
Yeah.
And this is like a launch pad for the next cycle, right? Because you've got all these people that didn't know about crypto that now know about it. And when we know when prices increase, that's when retail gets back in. And we're going to see that FOMO be probably bigger than ever before, because now you have a range of participants that's so much greater than we've ever seen in any previous cycle. Yes, it's very gloomy right now, but I think we got to keep our eye on the prize here and keep our eye on the ultimate goal. And the retail side of things is still a major driver of this market. So you can't.
I think
deny
that statement you've got there, though, the infrastructure one is good. The infrastructure one's really good, and that's like, I think that's what people don't understand, and what could really get when you jump on to use, let's just say a DeFi platform, or let's just use Solana, right, as an example. When you just jump on to use Solana, you just expect it, because you're used to using things that always just work the way you want them to. You just jump on and you expect it to just work. But what people don't understand is these things have never been built before. These things have never been used before. They've never been tested before. We've never used them before. Like, a year ago, no one used, I mean, I don't know, was it about a year ago, no one used Solana.
No.
Right. So within, maybe a little bit longer, but within the space of, let's say, 18 months, something like their network has gone from no one to how many transactions a day are we talking about now? Are we in the hundreds of thousands of transactions a day at the moment on Solana? Or
no, millions. I mean, its peak was
millions,
15 million.
right?
I think now it's around 1 million after the NFT bubble somewhat burst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it, right? Like, people, this is all fresh. This is all new. We're in a testing ground right now, and we're the first batch of absolute legends who are getting involved in this kind of stuff. Legends.
Everyone watching this video is a legend. In fact, since you're such a legend, make sure to
smash the like.
This stream was not planned. So to show the people that we're actually here, and we might be here for quite a while. So make sure you smash the likes firstly, so everyone knows. And also, if you're new, subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Get on board.
Because we aren't going anywhere. Bear market, bull market. We're going to be here giving you guys the best alpha, giving you guys the best content, and, no matter what the market conditions are. So, to see that content, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Smash the likes. Let the people know we're here. In fact, I'm going to smash the likes myself.
Can we like our own show? Is that okay?
Yeah, we can like our own shows.
Is that a cool thing to do or not?
Smashing the likes.
Yeah, I'm just jumping on YouTube now. I'm gonna smash. Gonna like our show. Oh, there he is. There's my mate. There's my homeboy Miles.
Smashed. Like button will just be broken.
Okay, there we go. I've liked it.
Ran trolled you hard.
Trolled me.
By the way, the trade, we got time. Like, this is like a longer term trade we put in, and it's like, it may not even hit.
Might not hit.
But we got time. There's no rush. Like, with the live trading shows, there's really no rush because these things take hours.
This is not a live trading show though either, right?
No.
Let's just get that out there. We are not Sheldon. Sheldon is the trading legende, and we are two DeFi guys who love to scroll through the intrawebs and find awesome info on DeFi and crazy shit. And now we're just here talking with you guys because it's a rough time and we're just trying to all have some fun and shake this monkey off our fucking back.
We want to put the fun back in crypto.
Yes.
It's all so gloomy. I've never seen
spare me
so bad. I have never seen Twitter sentiment as
shit.
bad as it has been in my entire life, and I've only been in crypto Twitter for a couple of years.
It's horrible.
But I haven't seen it then. I spoke to a few other traders that have been in since. I mean, crypto Twitter wasn't really that big in 2017, relatively speaking. So you can't really compare. But even the traders I spoke to in 2016, 2017, they said now this is probably the worst I've ever seen. So don't underestimate just how bad this sentiment is right now.
Bad. It's real bad. But also, like, money-wise, right? We've never lost this much cash before.
Yeah. We're going to get into Celsius at 3AC, by the way, guys.
We are talking trillions and trillions of dollars has been absolutely just obliterated from our market. And then, every other market around the world as well. So it's not just us. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been smashed hard, but everyone's being smashed hard.
Everyone's been smashed hard.
Everyone everywhere.
I mean, let's look at the NASDAQ now.
The only person who got out scot-free feels like bloody Elon Musk, who sold his shares for Tesla last year sometime.
I mean, let's get off the 30-minute chart.
So I reckon you sold out a second ago, Miles, on that long from this morning at the right time, man.
That was good timing.
I reckon we rolled over a bit. I feel like the momentum's shifting.
So the Nasdaq's down 32.8%. So that is quite a large drawdown. And also, you've got the DXY pumping. I said a while ago that, with the DXY, it's the dollar index. So this tracks the strength of the US dollar. These were my two levels. We kind of have been trading in this range. This big 17% range, just up, down, sideways. If we really wanted to see that massive response from Bitcoin, we needed this rejection here at this key critical level. But we didn't get the rejection. We actually pushed through it. So the next target, unfortunately, for the DXY is now up another 15%, which would spell potentially more downside for Bitcoin. There is a chance we get rejected sooner. We know, this is a key level, the 106 to 107. But yeah, just keep your eyes on the DXY. I did say that was danger if we broke through that, and we have.
You know what's a good chart to look at? Sorry, I'm probably too close to the mic. As well is, do you want to bring it up while you're there? Is USDT.D. So USDT dominance.
You want me to get it up?
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought I was trying to. Yeah, you bring it up on yours just because it's
so what's the
USDT.D. Yeah, it's the dominance.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. And look at this thing. This is crazy.
Wow.
Fucking hell. So that's the USDT dominance, and it is fucking going off tits.
Wow. Look at it.
That is everyone cashing out of crypto and moving their money into USDT. It is absolutely nuts. It is just a rocket. That is crazy. That tells you so many different. What is it? A picture tells 1,000 stories.
Words.
Yeah, that's the one.
Words.
1,000 words.
Picture tells 1,000
Why do I
words.
say that? There was a thing. Every picture tells a story. That's what I was trying to think of.
We broke through this.
Broke
through that major trend. That major trend. And pushed upwards.
It's full on. It's on a tear. So that's the thing. I think that's a good one. 25%. It's a good one to watch, right? Because it kind of gives you the overlay of how much money is in stables versus how much money is actually in the crypto market. So
interesting, the USDC now seems to be the preferred. The market cap of Tether is still bigger. USDC's gained a lot of ground on USDT. So Tether obviously moves, larger in proportion with the market drop. But USDC, I wouldn't fade the dominance here. And I think a lot of people, and myself included, are probably more comfortable in USDC.
Yeah, I am as well, to be honest.
USDT, just because of there's a little bit of uncertainty around Tether. And I don't personally believe Tether is a chance, or a very large chance to depeg. Very, very, very low risk. But there has been speculation that, Tether themselves haven't been as transparent and forthcoming with some of the information, than they could have been. So personally, I'm more of a USDC proponent, BUSD as well. Look, I always have a mix of the three, but yeah, it's interesting to see.
I pretty much only have USDT on the exchanges where you need to use USDT to trade. So on KuCoin and on BYBIT and whatnot. Everything else that's in my wallets, I keep in USDC. Now, you know what else is super interesting though right now is check out USDD. Oh shit. Fucking Sonny boy is sopping up the account. You better hurry up and get some more cash in there. Oh,
what are you gonna do? I never got into this Ponzi, by the way.
Talk about what a shit timing, bad timing to fucking copy someone else's idea. Like, Jesus Christ, man, what are you doing?
I mean, it's just like to see what happened to UST and then go forward with USDD. It just baffles me. Now, the USDD mechanism was stronger than the UST algo mechanism, but by no means was it robust enough to possibly like promote it to the extent that they did. So yeah,
I think
that's my opinion on that.
That whole hilarious, buddy. That whole hilarious of them saying that it was 200% collateralized, and then someone else came out and proved that it was only 118% collateralized, and then Justin's having to top up everything to make sure it stays in peg, and it is just such a badly timed execution of an idea. Man, the guy's done a lot of things and he's made a lot of money, so he's obviously a smart dude, but he's fucked this up monumentally. It's just insane.
I know.
It's insane. It's the someone just gone in there, Donnie Allen just gone, it's the perfect storm. It is the perfect storm, and he has screwed it. But yeah, I'm most comfortable in USDC.
It's still got potential. Look, it's by no means a death spiral. It's by no means going to zero in the next week, but it's just one that it's bad EV. So whenever you look at holding a stable coin, it's expected value, right? So it's the risk versus the reward of holding a set asset. With stable coins, as soon as it depegs, it's positive EV, in my opinion, to exit. Because you are kind of, as soon as it depegs, that indicates like a fundamental flaw in the algorithm or a potential short, and you never know when the liquidations are going to kick in. So when it comes to stables, like, and they kind of depeg a little bit like MIM did, like USDD did, like UST did in the beginning, it's not bad EV to kind of get out and just take a couple % of a loss. That's my opinion anyway when it comes to stables. USDD being one of them. So it's just not one that I would hold. Why would you hold this for 10% yield? Like,
do you know how the mechanism with TRX works in relation to USDD? How does the TRX mechanism work with stabilizing? Like, it's not the same as
So I know they've got a treasury. I haven't researched it in depth. I know they've got a treasury that underpins the value of USDD. I know that there are that there's a staking function as well to kind of incentivize locking up TRX. But I don't think it's the exact same mechanism as UST and Luna.
It's not like a burn. It's not like a burn. It's not a one-to-one.
Not a one-to-one. But I do believe it does have the value accrual of UST in the sense that if USDD is burnt, is minted, then TRX is burnt. That's why we saw this run up, right?
Yeah, which is BTD as in the comments. He's gone, where can I short USDD? Nah, forget shorting USDD. If you're going to be shorting anything, you're going to be shorting TRX, right?
Short TRX. It's
like,
easier.
That's what you want. Yeah. You want to be shorting TRX.
You can short stables through dexes, like borrowing against them, selling them, then redeeming them. If they're not on exchanges, that's a technique. Maybe I can show you later in another video.
Which I did. I did that with full degen shit, and it's gone now, so no one knows, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. But I did that with UST. So I borrowed a shit ton of UST as it was crashing, and I swapped it to something else, and then it just turned to nothing.
Yeah, I mean, TRX is not one that I'm holding, But yeah, back to this point because I love this point.
Infrastructure, baby.
Infrastructure is massive. When I say infrastructure, there's a few things. There's obviously the development infrastructure, so your bridges, your L2s, your decentralized development, and then there's also like the things that underpin crypto activity. So your exchanges, OTCs, your liquidity providers, AMMs. That infrastructure was not there in 2017. And the exchanges were by no means as complex and robust as they are today. We didn't have perp dexes, perpetual dexes where you can leverage trade on a dex. We didn't have a lot of the features we have now. That is basically meaning we're going to be able to accommodate more users next cycle. Yeah. I think this is an underrated point, Tricky. That by the time the next cycle comes around, now look, we may get a rally later in the year. That's a very likely possibility. But when I talk about next cycle, I'm talking next bull cycle. So we may rally, but it may not be an official bull market. But next bull cycle,
I had a good one.
This infrastructure underpins us, right? Because what's happening at the moment is these L1s are developing. They're now going to get a couple years, potentially, like a year, 2, 3 years, however long you want to say.
To become better. Yeah.
Exactly. So by the time this next bull run comes around, your Solanas can now do 50 million transactions, in a day. Your Phantoms go from a 1.5 mil capacity to like a 10 mil capacity. Your Ethereum moves to proof of stake, gets sharding, and suddenly becomes, a very scalable asset. So infrastructure, by the time the next bull run comes around, is going to be massive comparatively.
But that's what we were saying. That's what we were saying before. It's like everything now is just it's in test phase, man. We're all just the beta testers right now, sadly. And maybe we thought differently about it, but the bottom line is that's what we are. We're just beta testers right now. We're the first batch of people who are in here seeing if shit works, which is cool. It's good that we're there because it means that we're going to reap the rewards in the long run. But right now, we're the guinea pigs. We're the fucking guinea pigs, and we're just in here to test and see what is and what isn't working. And then by the time we get around to the next run, hopefully we'll be in a better position. I found this as well. Actually, this is what I was looking for. If you want to just share my screen again for a second.
You can do it.
This is, how do I do that? Just
or
there?
Do you need, just click add.
I think my screen's there. Don't you need to add it from your end? Sorry.
No, you can just click add to stream on your,
No, it's already there. I think it's my other.
Well, I can add it. Maybe
there you go. Yeah, there you go. So that's the
you may need to zoom in a little bit.
Oh, I don't know if I can zoom in a bit.
It'll be just be shift at the same.
There you go. Yeah. So that's the halvings where we're at now in relation to maybe how long we've got to hold out before the next massive run. And so this is the time that everyone's got. So you're talking about where are we? Kind of March 2024. Which is when the next halving is around about this area because it's not precise. But that's
I'm telling everyone on my Instagram to come and get involved in this because we're going to start answering some questions throughout the show. So
yeah, we'll do that.
So it'll be cool to get my Insta guys on. So I'm just doing that now.
But I think that's it. Like cool that infrastructure is super important. It's good to know that now it's there and these guys are only going to get better. It's only going to improve. We may have this long to wait before we get some kind of relief or before we get back to all-time highs or, before we moonshot or whatever you want to call it. But I think that this halving is kind of our next, based on what's happened before and what, if you're trying to predict what's going to happen in the future, the best way to go is to look in the past. Even though nothing's guaranteed, it's a good kind of chart to look at and get an idea of how far we've got to go before we might be getting back to some serious dollars again.
I mean, yeah, but things, we've seen the drop off over the last few months, happened at such a quicker velocity than we've ever seen. So this extended notion of a bear market, this long, boring crypto winter, I think we're already proving that these moves are happening quicker, more velocity, and the macro swings are also way more volatile because the economy is just on a knife's edge constantly. QE, QT, wouldn't be surprised. End of the year, QE, like things can change quick. So yeah, I agree with you. Till the halving, there's quite a while.
I mean, weren't we even
halving? There may be front run by the scope of 12 to 24 months, by all means.
Yeah, you could be, but I mean, I think like you were saying just then, it's that whole kind of economic environment worldwide that's kind of the biggest issue, right? And that's what's the kind of elephant, the pink elephant in the room. And we were talking today about, I think I was talking to you about it, about, the elections, the midterm elections in America. Because obviously everything is being determined by the Fed and America has just printed so much fucking money that they've ruined everything from a level scale. Nothing is even, you can't measure anything properly anymore because they've just pumped so much money into the fucking economy. And the thing is because they're the biggest economy in the world, this trickles down into every single economy all around the world. And I know we've felt it here and everyone's felt it because they're this center point where the money comes and they've just gone, here you go, have some more.
Have you gone to the petrol station lately? Like it's costing an arm.
I did. Yeah. It cost me $100 Aussie to fill my car up 2 days ago, which is, and I drive a fucking not a big car. So for me to do that, I think it was costing me about, it was costing me about 65 to 70. And now it cost $100 the other day. So that's a 30% increase on the cost of petrol. And I reckon
groceries, like I was in Miami and I know Miami's not the best example because it's a very expensive city, but my weekly shops for two of us were like $400 US or $300. And I ate a lot, so that makes sense, but that's nuts. $400.
I posted on my Twitter the other day that I was at the market here in Melbourne and a lettuce was fucking $9 for lettuce. Lettuce. $9.
A leaf of lettuce was $9.
Fucking iceberg lettuce was fucking $9, and a bag of beans was $14.99. So for a kilo of beans, it was like $35. Insane.
There goes another
insane.
monetization because of swearing. Well, we're down the rabbit hole now, guys. So we can't make money off YouTube, Rev.
We made a decision at the start that we weren't going to not swear on this stream because we just wanted to have a chat that was free. So
we can't. We're Aussie. We can't help it.
This is what we do. You guys are lucky I haven't said the C-bomb yet. Sorry, I've just done something.
Looks like those BYBIT links are going to have to subsidize. YouTube's not paying us anything.
On the floor. Sorry.
That's all right. You dropped your headphones. This is actually true. This is a good point from Chuck. He said the halving's not usually that big because it gets built in as you approach it. The year after that cut's realized. And I would say this time is kind of right. The halving now, especially with just the mass publicity it got from multiple entities, means that the halving becomes less and less relevant. But it does become relevant because if everyone believes in it, then it tends to happen. But the effects of it will happen earlier, much earlier than the earliest that you think it can happen, if that makes sense. So if the halving, I think it's in April 2024. Around
it says this chart had March 24 on it, but yeah, same thing really. I mean, it's an estimation anyway, isn't it, based on how many blocks?
So let's say March 24. What might happen is the pump might happen. You might think it'll start happening in June the prior year, but it might really happen in January 2023. Like that's the crazy part of these halvings. We've seen throughout history the effect that it kind of gets built in earlier and earlier. I'm not like it does have a tangible impact on supply, stock to flow, etc. So it does make a lot of sense from a financial perspective, but from a psychological perspective, I mean, we know how driven by hype these markets are. You could definitely make the argument that it's continuously going to be happening earlier or eventually won't be relevant anymore. But I wouldn't go as far to say that just because there's too many players that are interested in the halving as an event.
Yeah, I think
you guys are hilarious. Thank you. We're Aussie humor, mate. Melbourne rep. Peace, everyone in Melbourne.
Melbourne representatives. Yeah, I think. I mean, according to this, and this is obviously someone I got this off one of the groups I'm in. So this is not my chart. Unfortunately, I can't give credit to the person who actually did it. But they're saying, but on this chart, I mean, if you look in here, we're going to have a little bit more of a drop from where we are now, which is fine because we're kind of used to it already. But the build up starts, and then we get to here. But it's all kind of speculation about whether or not this is even going to make a difference, right? I mean, it's based on what's happened in the past, so you can never really guarantee. I mean, I like that concept of being front run. Don't you reckon? The concept of being front run, because people are going to assume that it's going to make a big difference when really it's just the money coming in that's going to make the biggest difference, right? So whether the halving happens on time or not is not going to make a huge difference. But what will make a difference is the cash flow that comes back into the industry. Yeah,
we need every cycle. There's been a catalyst. Last cycle it was obviously QE, and the Fed's approach and stimulus checks created an unprecedented amount of money in the economy, inflation, which resulted in asset prices going up, crypto being one of them. Every cycle there's a catalyst. What's that?
Yeah. Oh, no, I said, have we got this trade yet? I just looked at it.
No. The trade. We're just waiting on the trade for now. We'll see what happens. Every cycle we have a catalyst. There will be a catalyst for the next cycle. But to get that massive push up, you need one. Now, it could be macro. It could be the macro climate easing, the Fed reintroducing QE, inflation going down to the level where it's sustainable. That would be potentially a catalyst, and then we can kind of resume in the same vein we did. That's just one option. You also have, other catalysts that, potentially institutional adoption, country, nation, state adoption. There are other potential catalysts. There may be a few, there may be one. We may not see all of them happen, but that's basically what we need for this next cycle to commence.
Something.
Yeah, the halving's a great narrative, right? But,
Yeah, and that's the thing is it's always brought something in the past. So I reckon in the future it probably will as well. And that's everyone's looking to something to try and help them out of what this mess is.
Institutions, man, and that's another big one. That's a point I made just then. It's like, What do you think will be the next big company to add Bitcoin to their balance sheet? If they're not already, to be honest, this bear market might create a bunch of new owners on that front.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm more interested in what country will be next as a speculation. If we're speculating, like I love this idea of nation states accepting Bitcoin, and I love this idea of people, getting away from the US dollar and moving to some other kind of world currency. We'll probably get banned now on YouTube for saying that. Full conspiracy guy.
Nah,
but I think it's more based, like for me, what's interesting is what countries are going to pick it up. Who wants to move away from the current kind of world dominated currency into something else? Like El Salvador already has. Like I reckon that's the big narrative that I'm interested in.
We'll get there, bro. Indian King says, what to do, man? It's urgent, money stuck. We're not about quick money here, although the leverage trading is a great way to make a little bit of cash on the side. It's not going to get it. It's not the primary way we're building wealth. In today's show, though, we are going to be going through our strategy for building wealth in the bear market and, well, setting ourselves up for success in the bull with our portfolio. In fact, we're going to run through like 30 altcoins.
Let's do it. Zimbabwe, Gavin's got in there for the next country
Zimbabwe?
to take it on. Zimbabwe.
Australia? No, probably not.
We're not.
Small country.
We're not going to do it.
Antonio, yeah. Shout out to everyone. Yeah. In fact, Don,
yeah.
Indian King, Florin, Gavin, Deepak. We see all of you guys. Lavani, Antonio, Jimmy. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, joining the stream.
Lee Marriott, the trade in Bitcoin is around 21 to 22. Yep, that's the one. Sorry,
everyone commenting. Shout out, Marks.
Yeah.
You guys are the real ones. We're all here during this bear together. We're going to build something special. We're really going to set ourselves up for success in this next run. And it's an exciting time to be here. I'm actually like, I feel
massive crypto hug from crypto lovers, right? Crypto hug. We're all in this together. It's been a shit time. Happy days.
You look like you're a mummy or something. Like
I've got my mummy mask here still. If you want me to get that, what was it? The crypto criminal from the show that we did the other day.
Can you get that?
I've got it here. Hang on. I'll be back.
Dear guys, watch out for this. This is so scary. Oh dear. Oh dear.
The crypto criminal. He's back.
Oh dear, mate. Crypto criminal, mate.
I can't hear you. Sorry. He's here to steal everybody's Bitcoin.
Oh, he's got his earplugs out.
Yeah, there you go. The crypto criminal.
So I got a question for you, crypto criminal.
Yeah.
Did you steal everyone's Bitcoin? Is that why we dumped? Because I'm looking at the charts right now, and I'm seeing some blood, and I'm going.
I'm waiting. I've been stealing everybody's Bitcoin. I'm the pure culprit for FUD. I'm out there fudding everything. I'm pretty much saying that Celsius is going to get liquidated today, so sell me a Bitcoin at a cheap price. But personally, I'm accumulating Bitcoin, 21 million Bitcoin when they hit zero.
You're rude. You're so rude. By the way, if you do want to follow the crypto criminal on Twitter,
Sounds Tricky.
Link is in the description. It sounds tricky. Just so in case you guys don't know who this random Australian idiot is,
crypto
that's
criminal.
Joining me to, be a degen. If you want to follow him, Sounds Tricky. Link in the description. Of course, if you guys don't know who I am, some of you may not. Follow me as well. Miles Deutscher. Link in the description. I have the best alpha on Twitter. I basically have a thread addiction. Now I've got to ask you.
He does too many words.
Is this an unhealthy activity to be doing on a Saturday night? Because that is what Friday night. Is this like?
Is that what you did Friday night? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for someone, I think probably should have been out. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's Sunday night here. We probably should be at the pub, eating parmas, drinking beers. But instead we're just talking crypto. Mike Roberts has put a funny comment in saying Miles is tipsy.
You can add them.
I think I'm tipsy as well. Okay, I'm almost a bottle of red down on a Sunday night. Responsible drinking. We are very chill. I'm at home. It's a Sunday night. It's super chill, home alone, and I've been drinking a bottle of San
Mars is a
Giovese.
thread machine.
Yeah, the bear machine for threads. You are totally the thread machine.
Bro, I have a thread problem. Like, I can't explain anything else. If you like threads, then I'll go ahead. Follow me. Link in the description. Yeah, I do a lot of threads. I'm pretty much
It's all
a
about
crazy
threads.
Twitter addict.
Yeah.
Like, it's just silly.
I think
But
half
anyway,
of our conversations are about Twitter. Oh, speaking of crazy Twitter addict, there was a funny little scenario today with old mate Richard Hart. That
no,
Versace
guys,
covered, the Versace covered man. I
got into Twitter beef with Richard Hart today, which is not hard to do, by the way. If you say anything that slightly diminishes
anti-HEX,
anything related to HEX, Look, we shouldn't be giving him more airtime on the show because this is why he does it. He wants, he wants those views, he wants those tweets, he wants that attention, but I can't help myself, so I'm gonna show it. Where is it?
We just missed that fucking trade. It looks like we're gonna not get it.
Look, let's just wait. Let's just hold. We don't know. We don't know.
No, we don't know, right. But it looks like it's right.
Will did this. Right. Very normal tweet. Very normal tweet about Bitcoin miner hash rates. Quite a good tweet, actually. And then he said, miners are dumping harder than usual or something.
It's a good tweet. And that's part of the reason. Yeah, why we're dumping as well.
Part of the normal.
Tweet. Yeah.
Okay, it's fair enough. Will fires shots about HEX. He says Richard's dumping harder than usual, right? So this is the HEX chart. Basically, if you invest anywhere apart from the very beginning, you're wrecked completely. As most altcoins, to be fair, but you're wrecked. Richard then replies, the cheeky bugger, with a HEX Bitcoin chart.
It's the worst chart in the whole world, this chart. It sucks.
And why is it the worst?
It absolutely fucking sucks. Well, because you can't compare Bitcoin to HEX on a time scale and say that one is outperforming the other, because you're looking at comparing something that is brand new versus something that is old and that has had. I mean, yeah, of course, Bitcoin hasn't had the pump, but the liquidity in Bitcoin, the value of Bitcoin is so much higher that, of course, it's going to jump up faster because it's starting from a less amount, which is what HEX has done. So you can't compare the two. It shits me. You can't do it. It doesn't make sense.
That's exactly what we said. So I called you earlier. I said tricky. I said, what do I respond to this? Because this is
what do we do?
So I did. I got sucked in. So I said, if you're going to compare Bitcoin and HEX, at least give them an even playing field.
Yeah.
Stop using the Richard confirmation bias heart chart.
I love it. And if you look at the chart, it's the best line. No, can we go back? Go back.
Okay.
Stop using the Richard confirmation bias heart chart. Fuck, that is absolute fucking gold. I'm sorry. That's amazing.
This is the chart. In fact, can I get the big chart?
Oh, hang on. Bit Pop has jumped in and said HEX made me more money. Yeah, so that's cool. That's fine.
And Bitcoin would have made you more money if you bought it in 2017 as well.
Exactly.
Or 2018.
Shit, did I sound like Kyle then?
Or 2019. The only time HEX would have made you more money is 2021.
Yes.
And that's what Richard posted. Richard posted this chart, which starts in 2020, end of 2020.
So to clarify that, if you bought $100 of Bitcoin at the start of 2021 and you bought $100 of HEX at the start of 2021, then at this point in time, technically, you would have more money in HEX, right? Technically. Now, that's fine. We get that, okay? But what we're saying is that you can't compare the two because they're one of them started 13 years ago and the other started 2 years ago. So the liquidity in Bitcoin has built up over time, whereas when HEX started, there was no liquidity. So for it to jump up quickly, it's much easier. And that's why
Richard
shitcoins pump.
Richard responded to me. So he added some fuel to the fire here. He said, bro.
Someone just said in the comments, I bought Luna now. Speedy Gonzalez, I bought Luna. Why?
Wait, Luna C? Luna C?
Fucking why?
Oh, no, bro.
Anyway, sorry. Back to Richard.
Okay, MC, you say you can compare the two. I'm going to get into why you can and why you can't. I agree, you can. Maybe you shouldn't, but you can. He said, you need to delete this chart or you look bad. Your call. Look at the scale on the right. It's obviously counting the times before HEX even existed. The math don't lie. Y'all that can't read charts do. That's what oh, dear.
That's my twerk.
Oh, dear. So he's saying HEX since launch has outperformed all these, and he's saying that you can't compare before it existed. I don't agree with that because when you look at the returns from the very beginning of each project to their current levels, Bitcoin still far outperforms HEX. And yes, HEX has only been around less, but it also was created during a bull run. So everything pumps during a bull run. It was created well after Bitcoin. So if anything, this argument could go the exact other way. He's saying you can't compare because HEX was created later. I would say you can't compare because HEX was created later. The exact argument.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this was the argument you and I had as well early in the day. And we literally said, I bet you $1,000 if you write that tweet, Richard Hart was going to write this tweet back. We fucking had it verbatim, man. We fucking knew.
We said, all right, if I post this Tricky,
I bet you
this is exactly what he's going to say. And you're like, yep. You're like, but I already had a response. I actually had a rebuttal to this lined up. I was like, already ready to respond to this. It was that obvious he'd post this chart. But I decided not to because I don't know.
It just creates more beef. It's not worth it.
It just creates more beef. It just creates more beef. Exactly. Hard is a complete flogger. Anyway, we shouldn't give this guy more airtime. Kyle, what are you posting, bro?
What's this?
What are you posting, bro?
Someone said lead Fuad. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Fuad said, Miles, if you guys don't quit talking about HEX, I'm getting... Oh, no, he means it in a bad way. I'm getting off. He means like stop talking about HEX because it sucks or else he's going to go. Okay. I thought he was defending HEX. But yeah, no, you're right. We're done. It was just the beef.
Everyone in the comments, do you agree with the Moon Carl, the world's greatest and most reliable crypto trader? I think that was the bottom save this tweet. Do you guys agree? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Like, do you think he's right? Do you think he's wrong?
I think that was the bottom. Save this tweet. Fuck,
he's the most reliable crypto trader in history. So
is he? Is there one of those charts that's got like all the times he made a call and then it points to where it's gone pear-shaped?
They're 100. I mean, it's not. No, he was 100% correct every time. All right, everyone's saying no.
He's exactly as he predicted.
I would tend to agree with all of you guys in the comments. I would say that cycle bottom isn't in. And that's me making a prediction. We know it's hard to make predictions in crypto.
No one likes to predict, but Very Good 17 has said 13K the bottom. And also there was someone else I saw in there. What doesn't everyone... Hey, why don't everyone chuck in... Just give us numbers. Just give us like 13 or 14 or whatever of what you think the bottom's going to be. Go. Chuck it all in and let's see what 10K bottom, 14K bottom, bottom's not in, 12K bottom, 14 to 12, 12, 15, 800. Yeah, that's a fair call. 10K. So far, no one is below. Oh, hang on. There's a 6.6969K from NT Goonie. Goonie! What's up? Goonie! Goonie's gone under. He's gone 6.5 basically. Oh, said 4K in here. Who's gone 4K? Yeah,
these are the levels, guys.
Sorry, I've lost it. It's flying through. Oh, here it is. Kais Nova said 4. Thanasis 654 said 1K. There's no way. If it goes to fucking 1K, I am selling my house and I am buying all the Bitcoins in the world. And you guys are not getting
these are the magic lines. These are the magic lines.
Yeah. We got these lines. This is bang on. We fucking nailed it this morning. So
yeah, we got this top line. I deleted it because we're looking at the bottom cases now. So I deleted the top one.
Yeah.
But we did get the perfect line in this box. That was a great trade. I would say, I mean, it's kind of annoying because a lot of you guys didn't get the trade, but like, I don't usually post live trades. I don't do the Sheldon thing. No. I can if you guys want, but it's not really my speed. So apologies.
I think trading's really, really hard. And I think anyone who does it really well is bloody skillful. And, you know, I think it's one of those things that you need to study for fucking ages to play TA that works really well. That's my opinion.
You need your own strategy, right?
And you need and back test it and work through it and understand what's what, and then try and figure it out from there, and then work it. And I think we've said this. I think I said this as well. Was the most important thing if you're going to trade is just find your own strategy and stick to it. And that's the most important thing, because if you don't stick to it, that's when everything goes pear-shaped. Here we go. What have we got? We've got a few more numbers coming in for the bottom. 16, 4,
10 to 12.
8, 1. I think 1 is just like completely unbelievable, right? There's no fucking way we're going to 1K. There's no way. There's just no way.
Or 3.
I don't reckon. I think
these 3 are the lines.
Simon Kilshaw said 14. I reckon 14's about. I feel like 14's about right.
These are the 3 lines. I hope my mic has been on the right mic the whole time.
No, it's fine. I can hear you, man. It's fine. Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you.
No, but has it been on the right mic?
Kim Chi said it's too boring to study, as in he doesn't want to study the charts.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah, go on.
Well, what I was going to say is these are the levels. So this 14K region, this box is, in fact, we can just tweak it slightly. This is one of the major resistance supports here, and a resistance at 14, of course, on the way up if we test. But that box is one I'm looking at, 12 to 14, very key level, because it was this lower high in 2019. It was also this lower high in 2020. And then this was the range where we broke out of, tested once again in 2020. And then that was basically the launch pad for that massive bull run, this 14K region. So we'd be remiss not to look at this region here, 12 to 14. If we did break lower, 10K, massive psychological resistance. Also, it's a physical resistance too, having these many touch points on the weekly. Many touch points, multiple times. This rejection here even sent us spiraling to 3.8. Then that was the major level pre-March 2020 crash. That was the level that sent us down. How many percent? Like 61%. So 10K is another key level. Will we get there? I'm not sure. Richard Hart seems to think so. 14K, very likely. I think a lot of people are saying 14 to 15 now.
I think if nothing else, Richard Hart's twerking will take us down there. Fucking hell.
Yeah, so these are the bottom kind of levels that we are looking at. These 2 I've drawn in, these 3.8, 6.4s. These are doomsday type levels. I don't think we're getting there, frankly. No. Like it's 1% chance we're getting there. No. But you know, you can't deny the 1%. There was also a 1% chance Luna would go to 0. Well, probably a lot higher in hindsight, but that was the general sentiment at the time. So yeah. These very unlikely. These are the 3 levels I'm looking at. If we think, really don't want to break 10.
For me, and just based on order books, and I've looked at a few heat map charts, 13,000 is where around 14, 13,000 is where there is huge orders for Bitcoin, huge amounts. I am not saying I know fucking anything at all. What I'm saying is if it goes below 13,000, I am literally selling my kidneys and I'm buying Bitcoin. But that will be kidney sale, not after a night of drinking red wine and streaming on Crypto Banter with Miles.
All right. This is not financial advice, because this is very deep.
We don't give financial advice.
Tell the audience about Australian superannuation.
Oh, okay. So we've had this conversation a little bit. Yeah. I know, this is fucking degen shit, people. So in Australia, what you have to do is in America, they call it a 401k, right?
401k.
No, 401k in America. And here it's called superannuation. And what it does is it means that when you work, you get paid money. And the money that you get paid, they add a percentage of that money that is, it's law that your employer adds that percentage of the money to your, say, weekly salary, and that gets taken straight into what they call a superannuation account. And the superannuation gets managed by a fund that gets invested. And then that's the way it works in Australia. So every person has a superannuation fund, and I have a superannuation fund. But what you're allowed to do is you're allowed to self-manage your own super fund. So at the moment, most people, or the majority of people's superannuation funds are managed by big companies that have, billions of dollars worth of superannuation funds, and they invested in real estate, in shares, in whatever they want. But there is an option to manage your own super fund. So Miles and I were talking the other day, and again, not financial advice. And what I'm thinking about doing is self-managing my own super fund at these lower levels and withdrawing it all and just basically aping into $10,000 or $13,000 Bitcoin.
He's taking his safe retirement money. This will pay for the rest of his life if something happens.
Will it though? It will fucking pay for it when Bitcoin gets to $150,000.
His retirement money that the government mandates you to hold, to save, to make sure you don't strain the system. He's taking that and he's taking it out, and he's going, I'm gonna ape this money into crypto.
Yes.
The safest asset class in history.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do. And what did you say when I told you I was going to do this?
I 100% condone it. Now, I'm not financial guys. I 100% condone it because we have an opportunity over these next 12 to 24 months, possibly the biggest opportunity of our lives, like this bear market.
Yes.
Like it's when we broke 20K. As much as I
You're
was
mad.
Kind of angry, I was kind of happy. Like honestly, if we pumped to 30K tomorrow, I would be devastated. That sounds crazy, right? Well, actually, I wouldn't be because I'd sell. But let's assume the bull market resumes tomorrow, and it doesn't just stop at 30 and comes down. It's like bull market resumption, bang, back to all-time highs. I would be very upset.
Yep.
Why? Because we are missing out on potentially a year of amazing accumulation opportunities that will be life-changing entries, life-changing opportunities to accumulate.
Yeah.
And if we pumped tomorrow, I'd be upset. So what you're doing with the superannuation is you are essentially giving yourself a chance to accumulate quality projects at dirt cheap levels. And by the time this next bull comes around, you're going to be in a better position. Now, obviously,
technically, because it's superannuation, technically I'm not allowed to spend it until I get to a certain age. So I'm quite a while away from being at that age where I'm even allowed to actually use my superannuation. Someone said in the comments, not all JC said not all superannuation can be self-managed, especially when you work in the APS. What's APS stand for? Sorry, I'm missing that one.
APS was the name of a sporting league.
Australian.
I don't think that's what it means.
Something services. Anyway, anyone in Australia can self-manage their own super fund. You just need to set up the correct company to do it. So you can do it. It's super easy. You just need to get an accountant to do it. You can even do it online. I think there's people who do $500 and they'll set it up for you. And then it costs you X amount every year to be able to do it. So you can do it. But yeah, I can't spend it. Yeah. So someone said 67 in Australia at the moment. So yeah, so I'm miles off being able to even use my super. So if I just take my super out now and buy a fucking shit ton of Bitcoin at, let's say, even now, even 20K, I mean, fucking hell, Jesus Christ. I never thought we'd ever see $20,000 Bitcoin in my lifetime again, ever.
Yeah. And we did.
Ever. Ever.
Once the bear market confirmed, this was kind of the level it confirmed at. For me, okay, yes, technically, actually, we had the lower high, lower high, lower high. I think it became clear we're in a bear market around the 40K
big line. Yeah, I think your big line right through the middle.
When it broke this, that was okay, this is pure shorts now. Get out.
Yeah.
Well, not get out of everything, but get out of the riskier shit. Yeah. Once it kind of broke that level, it became a lot clearer.
Have we got 2,000 people watching now?
We got 2,300. We can bump it higher though. Surely.
I reckon surely like it, right? How can we only have 800 likes?
Yeah,
we're here drinking red wine, talking crypto with everyone on a freaking Sunday night. Oh, I didn't swear. On a freaking Sunday night in Melbourne, and we've only got 800 likes. Dudes, what's going on? Come on. Let's get 1,000 at least. Come on.
All right, 900. All right, we're going to show you our portfolios, or not, well, our ideal portfolios for the bear market and beyond. but only
No.
at 1,000 likes.
Yeah, but what it is we sat down yesterday and we did this exact same basically thing yesterday. It's the portfolio that we're going to build from now until the next halving. Is that what we're saying? Is that what we're doing? We're using the halving as our point, as our marker.
Well, no.
I don't know.
I mean, we'll get into DCAing soon, but we're going to talk through all these projects. There's 30 of the damn things, guys. There's a lot to talk about.
And I think it's too many. Miles and I had a massive argument about this last night. I think it's too many.
And it leaves out at least 30 tricky.
Yeah. And we didn't even get Dogecoin or SHIB in there or Croge.
All right. we're at 1.1. But I still think we can do better. I know I said I'll show the first one. Okay, I'll show the first 3 at 1 because I agreed and a deal's a deal. I will show the first 3.
I can only like ones. Thanks, Steve. You're a fucking legend.
I will show the first 3 at 1K, but I'm not showing any more until 2K likes. We're going to need 2,000 likes for the rest.
Yeah, fair.
No, I did promise Burke. I did say I'd show it, so I'm going to show a few. Should we get into it?
Okay, do this.
Oh, dear. XRP's on the list. This is awful.
Yeah, and I think Rand's probably going to hate us, right? Is that right? Because he fucking hates
Rand,
XRP.
if you're watching the show,
sorry, bro.
So sorry for the conversation.
We had a massive argument about XRP last. We have been arguing about this. Though. We struggled to get through this. We pushed really hard about why it's on our list at all. And also we struggled. Okay, so Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Whatever. We know. Yep. Do we need to talk about that shit or not?
Yes.
Do we need to talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum?
Yes, because we need 2,000 likes.
Okay. Come on.
There's 2,000 people watching. No, it's important to talk about. Ethereum's very important. Ethereum's very important.
Bitcoin's the king. Okay, so everyone, if you're not stacking Bitcoin, then why are you here? If you haven't bought Bitcoin in the last week, what's wrong with you?
All right. Firstly,
that's my opinion.
Let me just say this. Before we get into the portfolio.
Oh, fuck. We're getting close.
There's many disclaimers I got to make. This is literally a rough list we came up with last night. This doesn't include a lot of our current holdings because these are tokens we want to accumulate more of. So tokens we're not accumulating more of, they still might be good. ADA might be one of them. It's not on this list. I'll already tell you that. Not because I don't like it, just because I don't want more of it.
Can I say something? Someone's just put a comment in. Rutgavi has just said, no Bitcoin, we are degens. Okay. Interesting. I want to start here because to me, yes, we're fucking degens, right? Miles and I are quite possibly the dirtiest fucking degens that exist within this whole community. I am the worst. I'm the flat out worst. Miles is way smarter than me, but he's a degen as well. But I am the dirtiest fucking degen amongst all of the dirty degens, and I'm happy about it. But I still stack Bitcoin as a hedge against everything else I'm doing that's totally fucked up. And I suggest you do the same. And the reason I say that is because no matter what happens, if everything goes to zero, Bitcoin will still be here. I have no doubt. No one here has any doubt about that. So worst case scenario is everything you've invested in so far goes to nothing, but Bitcoin will stick around and hopefully Bitcoin will regain you some kind of reward for holding it over that period of time. And that's my thesis on why it's important to still stack Bitcoin, even though we're degens. There we go. That's my 2 cents.
You want to know the truth?
Thank you.
You want to know the truth?
Yes, I do.
The truth is that I agree with you. But the truth is that
oh God, have we agreed on something for once?
Fuck. Bitcoin ain't making you money, bro. And I'll tell you why. Because
it's not making me money. Is that what you said? Or it is?
I accumulate Bitcoin. Yes, 100%. It's in my portfolio. It's my biggest holding. But the money I put into Bitcoin, it's more so from a store of value with a little bit of capital appreciation, of course, because it's not a reliable store of value yet. I think it will be, but not yet. I put in money that I can't, like, I treat it more like a savings account in the sense that, if I get income from my businesses, or if, I want to put in some money that I would be putting into gold, I'll put it into Bitcoin because that's what I see it as, a digital gold. So 100%. But for the sole purpose of building a portfolio that can generate strong returns, Bitcoin, for the majority of people, now maybe I don't fall into that category, but due to, however much I'm investing, not saying I'm some massive whale, but the truth is the majority of viewers, this is just the honest truth, you guys aren't investing crazy amounts of money.
No.
And that's fine. That's 100% fine, but it's totally goal orientated now, right? Because if you have $5,000 and you invest 50% of your portfolio, 2,500 into Bitcoin.
Yes.
And Bitcoin 5Xs, you're making 10 grand. Now, if your goal was to make 10 grand and that's going to change your life, do it. 100%. Take the safest option. But I know a lot of you want to make 500,000, 100,000, $1 million. If you're not dealing with at least $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 capital, you're not going to get to six figures or severe six figures, so 300, 400, 500K, without primarily skewing your holdings towards alts. Now, that's not me trying to be like a degen and like push you guys down a risky path. It's just that I think a lot of influencers, and even myself at times, get a bit caught up in like trying to give you guys safe portfolios, like own a lot of Bitcoin because that's what's going to that's safe. But at the end of the day, it's goal orientated. So however much money you want to make, you have to gear your portfolio towards that. So that's kind of like my rant.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. Except on the flip side of that, and to be honest, I'm surprised that we're counterparting this because I thought I was more on the opposite side of this argument than you are. Is that it's the only one? It's the safest of all the assets. So you're betting the money you put into Bitcoin, the money you put into Bitcoin or Bitcoin, the money you put into Bitcoin is the only, and I don't even want to say guarantee, but it's the closest thing to a guarantee you've got in this industry, right? In this space. And without it, there's no guarantee that anything else is going to survive anyway. So if Bitcoin is gone, everything's gone. So the only thing that really can hedge your bet against the downside and against the fact that things can go to zero is Bitcoin. Now, I am the guiltiest of all the guilty of being the ultimate degen out of all of us. And you know this, and I'm way worse than you are. But recently what I've been doing is I have been building Bitcoin because of that reason. Because I want to have a hedge against the fact that all these plays that I'm making, that I'm constantly doing, if they fuck up and they all go to zero, which they might, we don't know, they might, then I've got something that at least has a potential upside.
I'm just saying, I agree. No, I do agree with you. I just think it's goal orientated, right? So if you're dealing with a lot of it's all based on how much money you have and how much your goal is, and be realistic with your goals. Of course, all of us would love to make $100 million, $200 million, but it's not an excuse to be a complete reckless degen with your money. That's not an excuse at all. But set a realistic target for this next cycle, like a realistic amount you want to make, and then sit back and assume Bitcoin 5x's to 100K. Would the percentage you allocated with a 5x achieve your goal? If the answer is no, then maybe you got to reconsider how much percent you got in Bitcoin. If the answer is yes, 100% have Bitcoin. That's my only counter. That's just what I'm like. I own Bitcoin. I probably have 30% in Bitcoin now. I had none.
I've been scaling up on my Bitcoin holdings, and you and I have had this conversation 1,000 times, and I've been scaling up, especially now that it's so far down. I've bought a shitload of Bitcoin at 25,000. Obviously, I got fucked on that, but whatever. But I did buy a lot at 25,000 because I thought that was a fair value price, and I'm happy to hold that long term. And if it does go lower, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But I did buy a shitload at 25,000 for that reason, is to balance my folio out because my folio is heavy the other way. There's an interesting comment here. I am Missy Dizzy said, I use XRP to send money to exchanges because it's free.
Ooh, it's cheap. I saw someone transferred on the Ripple network $50 million
How much did it cost?
for $1.50 on Ripple.
Fucking hell, it's pretty good.
Not bad.
And then, so there's actually quite a few people in here who are pro XRP right now, which is interesting.
We'll get to XRP in a minute. We're gonna get into it.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We did this conversation last night for as many hours as I feel like we've already talked right now. It was crazy.
Now we have differing views on these.
We do.
And
we do.
This list isn't a buy list at so much as it is a conversational list to list the projects we're very interested in buying. Now it is a buy list in the sense that everything here I'm comfortable holding, everything here I'm comfortable buying.
Fuck, we're getting close to that trade. I've got the short in.
But there's nuances, right? All right, quickly, let's jump back to the trade because a lot of people are asking about it. We're going to get into the portfolio, but let's talk this.
The trade is, I'll grab my chart up again.
Get your screen up.
Grab it. I've got to get the right one. Here it is.
Okay.
I've got it here.
It's so hot in here.
Oh man, I've got the heating. I've got the heating on here as well. It's freezing in my house.
I also have COVID, so that's why I'm coughing. I'm actually pretty sick.
Just so in case
really want to stream, but
it's freezing cold in Melbourne right now. By the way, it's fucking cold. I was supposed to go to the snow this weekend, but I didn't get to go, so I'm a bit bummed about that as well.
It's 10 degrees right now.
Okay, so here we go. So I've got a short in here because this is going to be the major. This is the major resistance. And with Miles and I put a short in earlier between 20,150 and
resolution's poor. I agree. I don't think the chart looks that good.
20,300. There's not really. I mean, I can zoom in.
Yeah, you just zoom in as much as you can. I'm looking on my screen as well. It's too small.
Is that like this? Is that too much the other way? So let's do it like this. There we go.
It's your internet. Let me check.
Does that help?
No, shouldn't be. It's a bit better. Can you make the numbers bigger on the right?
Can do this.
Do you know? Yeah, that might help.
There we go. Does that make a difference? I can go one more in. And this way. Let's go this way.
I mean, if we're getting a short-term entry, feel free to just go into like the 30-minute chart.
That should help there. So the entry is between here, 3150.
Wait. Also, if you want to make it even better, you could make your trading list on the right take up less of the screen.
Space, yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? And the bottom as well. You've got your strategy panel open. Sorry to be a nitpicker, but a lot of these guys watch on iPhones, and like the iPhone,
yeah, of course, yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, I'll move this out of the way. There we go. Is that better? Hopefully that's okay for everyone.
Looks good.
Okay.
Remember, we need 2,000 likes.
Have we got 2,000 likes or not?
We need it if we're going to show the altcoins we want to show.
Okay. So anyway, so here we go. So I have a short with Miles and I put a short in earlier because we're saying this is the major resistance area here between 20,100 and 20,300. Not financial advice. Don't do it. Use Miles's BYBIT link, but we've put the shorts in the description. But we've put the shorts in, and we are getting really, really close. So
we're getting close. So you did 20,100. I did the same.
Yeah, I think I actually did a bit higher. I think I did 20,002. I like to kind of sit in the middle, and I always err a little bit higher than the kind of bottom of a range. And then as far as the stop loss is concerned, I put a stop loss in at about 20,100. I think. Where is it?
Oh, okay. So doing 2,100 means you're happy to take
21,100.
You're happy to take a 35% hit on your position or more because you're 15x leveraging.
Yeah, we don't tell anyone how much we leverage though, because it's just stupid to tell people that.
No, that is dumb. By the way, guys,
don't do it.
Non-financial advice. No. In fact,
this is because we're having fun on a Sunday night. This is what Miles and I do when you guys aren't watching. We just do this shit anyway.
When you guys aren't watching the streams and you just, you're doing your own thing. We're doing this. We're either trading or we're talking about alts. It's like all
this is what we're doing. This is exactly what we're doing all the time. So that's what we've worked out, and we put that in based on the fact that we're riding this kind of range. We think it's going to work. We've had a pretty good run for the last couple of days, so we're hoping this is going to play out. Not financial advice. Don't do what we're doing, but if you want, you can. Up to you.
Well, people, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Us.
Yeah. And we're getting close as well.
I'll show mine. So I put mine in at 2100.
You've got yours in.
I was a little pickier. I mean, you could pick either of our entries. Not that you should.
Oh, you've gone bottom of the range. I think I do. I'm just looking. Oh no, I did 2150 actually. Sorry, 20,150. Yeah.
And it's a short. And I did 10x leverage, quite degen. Usually I stick to 7x leverage. This means that I lose 30% at the stop of 20,800. Very tight stop actually. Not that comfortable with it. But I am laddering in. So like I did put in a relatively small amount relative to my portfolio. I think I put in like $500. I'll put in another 500 if we go up a little bit and we look like we're rejecting. So what I want to look for is this retest. I want to see us come up to the top of that range that Ramsey was showing, come down. So, the short is validated and then retest that range as well. So that's what I'm looking at. It'll be more helpful with your boxes, but that's roughly the range in here.
Yeah, I think it's the same.
Looking for a retest in this area of resistance, come back up, test, and then hopefully push back down towards this box. That would be another signal for me to put in that extra $500. But yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see how this plays out. Hopefully it hits live on the show. Might, but that's, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at mine now. So I'm just checking what my stop loss.
Resistance on 1.3K likes. Guys.
What's going on there?
I really want to show this. But we need to have, at least we need to try and get 2,000 likes before we show it.
Yeah.
In fact, how about this?
Why don't we talk about what else we've got there? Why don't we talk about...
every 100 likes, we'll show a new one, right?
That's a good idea.
So
just push the button. It's not hard.
1.5, 1.6, 1.7. And then
push the button.
So for the whole thing, we'll need like 3K for the whole thing. That's a better deal.
So let's talk about why we put XRP on here. And I think this is...
No, we need to talk about Ethereum first.
Do we? Okay. But Ethereum...
Do you want to give the bull case or are you going to make me give it?
For Ethereum?
Well, I talk about Ethereum so much on the shows.
Where do we start? It's the number one layer one. It has the highest amount of users, does it? No, it doesn't have the highest amount of users. It's definitely got the...
I think I need to do this.
Yeah, you do the bull case. I'll do the anti-bull case.
Yeah, you're much better with the anti-bull case. All right, the merge.
I'm better with the bear scenarios. The merge is interesting.
Yeah, you're way more... You're the evil crypto reaper. Where's this ETH merge simulation? I want to get this chart up for you guys before I go into this. I showed this on the show.
I think with everything that's going on with ETH right now, it's easy to kind of forget that it is the leader of a pack, right? So it's the first smart contract, right? So there was never one before. They created something new and they developed something new with it. And at the moment, you've got this whole kind of thing with everything that's going on with ST ETH and with ETH, and there's a whole liquidation events, and everyone's kind of forgetting that ETH is the birthplace of DeFi, right? And DeFi is decentralized finance for anyone who doesn't know. And that is what's going to be super important for moving us out of the current financial system that we're all stuck in.
Miles is on point. Take a few sips of the wine, my guy.
Yeah. I think that's what's super important to remember as well. Is
all
that
right.
guy from Harry Potter.
Bull case. Ethereum merge. Massive event. Probably still the biggest crypto catalyst of 2022. The major thing to note about the merge is that it is going to reduce the supply growth. So the amount of ETH tokens being emitted from a positive issuance to a negative issuance, meaning the supply will now decrease 0.5% per year based on, calculations based on a day's worth of data. 30 days doesn't really change much. In fact, it's more bullish from a tokenomics perspective. Still sick. The issuance of Ethereum will drop to 0.6 million. So currently 5.5 million ETH are being emitted. That will now drop to 0.6. That's one of the bullish factors. Secondly, it becomes a lot more environmentally friendly. I think that's a massive argument because a lot of institutional investors now have major requirements to, uphold the values of their stakeholders, including being environmentally friendly. So proof of work does have some concerns in that respect. I think proof of stake definitely alleviates some of those concerns. Definitely the environmental aspect is one of them. Bit touchy of a subject. A lot of people don't like that point, but that's one of them. And then also the network gas, the gas fee is probably, the main reason why Ethereum hasn't done like a 3 million transaction per day day. Like its top transactions per day is like 1.5 million because
but can it do more even without the gas fees? Well, can it do more with the gas fees being lower?
Yeah, of course. Because now there's a barrier, right? Like right now, it can't do 10 million transactions a day because then gas fees would be $1,000. Like it'd just go nuts because it's in the amount of
more people who are transacting, the higher the gas fees goes, right?
Yeah. So proof of stake, although it doesn't fix scalability instantly, the merge is a broader term for the first merging of the beacon chain and the relay chain, the first merge. The entirety of the merge, which is what they called Ethereum 2.0 before they changed the name, will be the continuous upgrades that occur to the network, which involves the sharding upgrade in 2023, which will be their major scaling solution to get that transaction capacity up. So ETH has the most developers of any chain. It also has some of the best risk reward in crypto. I think if we look at the charts, let me get my charts up. It's at $1,000. That is a pretty generational accumulation zone. Obviously, it did hit this 880 region, but in terms of the scope of ETH's history, these levels are advantageous from a DCA perspective. And I think as a potential $10,000 asset one day, the risk reward's fantastic. One, you could argue is better than Bitcoin. Would you agree that the Ethereum risk reward is better than Bitcoin?
The risk to reward's higher. Yeah, definitely the risk to reward's higher. And we've heard we've heard everyone say it. So, I mean, Raoul Paul loves it. He goes on about how it's the single greatest investment that he reckons is out there right now. Everything that you've just said, the fact that also as well that I think it's got that, if you say cryptocurrency to people, the only two cryptos that pretty much most people know are Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? And that's the mainstream as well, which has got a lot to do with what's going to ultimately drive the prices higher. And the fact that it's the most well-known behind Bitcoin is also crucially important, I think, because regardless of what goes on at the end of the day, whether people are using it for DeFi or whether they're not, whether people know it is what's important. And I think that is going to make a huge difference in the long run as well.
Yeah.
So for me, I would say I totally agree with the bull case scenario on Ethereum. And Ethereum is probably my biggest holding right now still, I reckon.
Yeah, and it will be one of my biggest holdings. I'm definitely scaling more into Ethereum than the other projects right now, just because I believe it has decent risk reward. I want to touch on that quickly.
Maybe what about the STE scenario then? Why don't we talk about that?
Oh dear, do we need to? I mean,
do we need to?
No, we can. The first thing is, Ran actually said this to me on a call the other day, and I think he had a very good point. He said that there was no reason for STETH to be trading at the same level as ETH in the first place, because if you guys don't know, you can't actually redeem one staked ETH for one ETH until the merge, which will then enable you to swap it for one ETH. But unfortunately, right now you can't. So technically, apart from the future proposition of being able to swap it, there's no actual mechanism to redeem ETH right now, which means it's a derivative of ETH. So the secondary market dictates price. Now,
yeah,
yes,
but on the flip side of that as well, like if you're looking at holding ETH for the long term and you're in a position to buy more, surely are you better off not buying ST ETH right now because it's trading at a lower value and ultimately it's going to be worth 1 ETH anyway?
Yes. I mean, yeah, it's worth 1 ETH if that, if the merge ends up facilitating this, but then you're adding in that slight element of risk of not having liquidity. If you did need to sell Ethereum and something happened to staked ETH, in terms of like maybe let's say the merge gets delayed 6 months and then all of a sudden staked ETH gets fudded and people want liquidity and it crashes.
You need to be in a position to be able to hold it, right?
Or there's a liquidation event. You need to be in a position to hold it. So I would agree with you, but then again, the discrepancy is too low. 990 to 1038.
That's what I'm looking at.
I'd just rather own ETH at that point.
1053 versus 988 is what I've got right now on CoinGecko for the two. So staked ETH is 988 and Ethereum is 1053.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mine's saying 1036, so pretty similar. I would rather own Ethereum. I mean, there was a lot of news that broke around staked ETH, one of which, and this is just such a big topic. And look, I highly recommend reading this thread if you guys have time after the show. Link in the description to my Twitter, because this sums up the entire 3AC situation and why the crypto market basically crashed. I won't go through the whole thing because it's a lot, but it's important stuff. I did have a point on staked ETH here, that a lot of people accuse Celsius of dumping this staked ETH, but what really happened was 3AC were the ones dumping their staked ETH, and they were trying to get out while they could. They dumped 60,000 staked ETH, millions and millions of dollars of staked ETH. Yeah.
So it had nothing to do with Celsius at all, which is interesting because everyone just blaming them. But that's where the whole FUD shit comes into it, right? I mean,
we missed a short.
Looks like we have. I know. Sorry.
Lucky I closed my long though.
Yeah, I know, right? That was a good call. It looks like we've missed it, but we'll see. I'm keeping it for a bit. I suppose for me, I guess maybe when we get back down to about 19 on the nose is pretty much cancel time, but we'll see.
Yeah, 19.
And honestly, and in all honesty, this looks pretty shit. It's weak. It's not good.
Guys, we're picky with entries. If we don't get a short, we don't get it, and we don't enter.
Yeah. But I mean, we got. Let's have a look.
It's kind of like this range here.
We've got our first higher high, which is barely higher on the market. But I mean, can you see my chart? I know you've got your. If you flick to mine,
drawing in trend lines.
Yeah, we've barely made it above the last one, but we have. So let's see. There might be a chance here to still bounce up, but it's not looking great from my point.
So,
I mean, here's where we're at.
Yeah. If we come down, kind of bounce on this trend here, then I mean that's giving us clear, indication we can push up again. But then again, it comes to this crucial point. It comes to this point where that Bitcoin has to make a decision. Does it decide to break to the downside or to the upside? Now, you can play either way. You can definitely play the short. If it does trade in this range a bit longer, and we start to break out around here, then you can definitely play this short, of course, on the retest, because then we know that this next level is 17.6, and we know the next level below that is 17.2. So that's potentially a decent short on the retest, of course, that we will be looking at. But this has still got, 16 hours to play out. So just keep it on your, and that's trading diagonals. Probably how similar to how Sheldon would draw it. If we look at your chart, you haven't drawn the wedge. You've drawn a descending channel, and you also have those horizontal supports.
So I more trade horizontals personally, and I like to use higher lows and lower highs as my point of reference with market structure, which is what we've got here. So this was a market structure. The market structure was broken down. We've moved down. We've created a lower low. Then we've created a lower high. Then we've created a higher low. Now we've created our first higher high. The question is now, can we kind of pull back around to get back up and retest this really tough resistance area? This is how I like to do it. Doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. It's just what I like to do. I still think if we get back into here, there's going to be massive amounts of rejection. I mean, you can see we've been front run on the rejection into that box already. So for me, getting into here, we'll see a massive amount of rejection. And then it's about after that, whether or not we can see any kind of support to get us back up. But at the moment, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Sorry to say it.
Let's see what happens.
But let's see how it plays out. But let's go back to the list. Let's talk about your mate.
Potentially, would you be longing? If we do come down, retest here, is that a decent entry with a stop loss kind of set there for a potential bounce? Potential. Get rid of that.
Maybe, but it's like that's a scalping trade. 7%? Like it's a real tight scalping trade at that point.
This is scalping. This is like dumb degen short-term stuff.
Yeah. This is not like big moves, big breakout moves or anything like that. This is playing tight resistances.
This is like very small amounts. If you want to play those big moves, what we did this morning was one of them. You'd really be looking to play these big boxes, these big ranges. But this is a risky time to be trading. This isn't like the safest time to be trading at all. Because even some of the top traders I know aren't really trading. I know Sheldon's off having a fun weekend with his friends. I presume he'll be trading Monday, Tuesday, I reckon. But yeah, I think even he's taking a couple of days off, just let the market settle. Because when it does this, when we have these massive spikes of downwards momentum, it's never wise to be FOMOing into
into a trade, right? Just because you can. Yeah, it's not a good idea.
Sunny said, let's not talk about the
I know. I was literally just saw his comment then and I was about to say something as well. It's hilarious.
All right, well, let's go through it. Remember, every 100 likes equals a new token. So we got 1.5.
Okay, so you can open the next one as well.
It brought them to the next two.
Yeah.
Let's go through the list.
So,
all right, XRP, let's do it. Let's talk it. Let's do it. Woo!
Okay. So why did we put XRP on there and why did we go over and over and over and over and over this to put it on eventually? The biggest, strongest.
I wasn't as bullish as you.
No, but I think the biggest and strongest, and I think you grabbed this chart yesterday. Maybe you can grab the chart again from, what was it? The top 10.
Yeah, I'll show.
Yeah. The biggest and most convincing aspect of XRP for me right now is the fact that it has been around for quite some time.
That is the biggest reason to own it.
It has seen 2 bull runs, 2 bear markets, and it's still in the top 6. Because it's probably like 5 now, isn't it? Is it at about 5 now? Let me just check. I just want to make sure that's right.
Yeah, it's like 8th.
8th. Okay. So it's still in the top 10. So after all that time, it is. 2017. So we're talking now 5 years. It has been in the top 10 for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the biggest bull case outside of that is the argument that XRP is going to be the swift replacement settlement layer for banks, bank to bank. What are we saying? 100 billion tokens.
Rand just tweeted.
Going fuck XRP. Oh no, I agree. Look, I was 100% in agreement with this up until I started to backtrack and go through every single list over the last 10 years and see where tokens were and where they are now. And
don't worry, Rand. Don't worry. I'm going to rip this guy to shreds, but I'm just letting him have his heyday.
Giving me my 2 minutes, but. Ultimately, what it comes down to is if you're looking to invest in something that has longevity and you want evidence that there is longevity, then XRP has that evidence. There we go.
Okay,
now Miles, rip me to shreds.
No, not yet, because I got one more bullish point, because we got to lay the bull case. Now, there's a few. I don't want to talk too much about what is happening on chain, although it's relevant. So the first thing obviously is the SEC thing. Pretty much from what I'm hearing, I went to Miami, permissionless. There was an XRP party, a lot of XRP maxis there. Convinced all that is behind them after the end of the year. That's just what I heard from going. That would mean, the market's largely pricing in a big win there. But that would obviously mean once all that is behind them, that there's kind of like a less of a ceiling on the price movement. So that's one bull case. The other one is obviously the banks. I think the big argument is that the banks
payment
use
settlement
XRP
layer.
payment, right?
Yeah,
as a payment layer, settlement layer. We need to see real.
It's kind of got a mechanism the same way that Rune works, right? It's going to be the money transfers into XRP switches from bank to bank, then it switches back into money. So it's similar to the way Rune operates on the way that Rune transfers token to token and then can create things cross-chain. XRP effectively is doing the same thing from bank to bank with the XRP token. Now, I don't know 100% how many banks are signed onto it, but what I understand is it's a lot.
As Rand said, there's been 6 transactions. So if we're going by that,
so there's only many. But then where was the transaction we were talking about before that had $50 million that transacted for $1.50?
Well, yeah, no, that was on my Twitter the other day. Yeah.
So
not mine, I saw it.
But okay, so what's the anti-bull case then, as far as this is concerned?
Well, one more bull thing, the community. Like we know projects are built on community. The XRP Army is so like ADA XRP armies. You got to give credit to them because no matter if these projects are doing no transactions or they have nothing to show for them or they have massive legal cases hanging over their heads, the armies are just out in force constantly. Constantly. So you got to give it to them in that respect. Yeah. So that's the community. 100%. So they're your 3 kind of catalysts. They're
the 3 big points. And
I
do understand the anti-case is the sheer quantity of the amount of tokens that there are is daunting. Right, we're talking, 100 billion tokens or something like that. Is that where we're at? 100 billion? It's a lot.
We're getting there, but then again, it's factored into the price, right? So,
it's already factored in.
It's all relative. Double dilution still to occur, but I'd say that's factored in. Okay, but bear case fully diluted is ridiculous at 31 billion, like crazy, like nuts. That's just. How could it puts it in the top 4 projects basically? If you get rid of these stable coins, it puts it above Cardano. Puts it basically right in line with BNB. In fact, it's almost flipping BNB, meaning XRP is the biggest project by fully diluted after
behind Ethereum. Yeah,
that makes it the 3rd biggest project in crypto, which is a blessing and a curse. The blessing is that it clearly has proven itself over many years as being an asset people want to accumulate and the market likes from a valuation perspective. From a negative perspective, opportunity cost. There are many projects which have more transactions, more solid fundamentals from a user growth perspective, from a network growth perspective, from a token value accrual perspective that have much lesser market caps.
Okay, that's yes, except you got to look at it. You got to look at it as a risk to reward, and that's the other side of this argument that you're making now. Is you're right. I don't think, like, I've heard a lot of people talking about XRP being 50x or whatever. If you're talking about those numbers, then you're not being realistic because that would dwarf Bitcoin's market cap, and that's never going to happen. XRP is never going to be worth more at an overall market cap than Bitcoin. But what XRP you can not guarantee, but what you can pretty much cross your fingers and hope very solidly for is that after we go through this whole process of down through a bear market and then hopefully up at the other end, XRP will probably be there. That's
the bull case. Bear case is opportunity cost. There are much better risk reward plays. Would you not agree with that? That there are much better risk reward plays.
There's hugely much better risk reward to play. Yes,
so then
I agree.
Why would you invest in XRP?
Because if you're investing.
No, but it's opportunity cost. One investment is directly inhibiting your ability to put capital into another investment, or at least the amount that you put in.
Except what you're also betting on is the fact that whatever the other token is you're going to be putting your money into is going to survive the next bear market, which we don't know if it's going to yet. But we could go off history and say that we can pretty much say that XRP is going to be top 10 through this bear market and into the next one. Whether we like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, whether you're XRP Army or not. And I'm going to be honest with everyone right now. Sick glasses. I'm going to be honest with everyone right now. I don't hold a lot of XRP. I'm not an XRP maxi. And this was exactly the same argument that you and I had last night.
We argued for hours on this.
About this. And we're just rehashing the same argument, is that you can't deny the fact that it's been there and that it will be there, whether you like it or not. XRP is going to be in the top 10 in the next bull run.
And that's the thing. Many projects won't be. So
they won't be. So that's the risk. And that's where your risk, your opportunity cost gets outweighed by the fact of whether or not it's even going to be alive through the next bull run. And that's what's important to understand. If you want to take $1,000 and maybe turn it into $50,000 by going into a 50x project that may or may not survive, okay, cool, that's fair enough. But if you want to put your $1,000 into XRP and maybe make $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 and still have that money, then that's the play. But I fucking hate the fact that I'm like pro XRP guy right now.
You are the biggest XRP.
I'm not the biggest XRP anything. Don't put me in that. I don't want to be that guy. Okay, that's fine. I don't mind being that guy if that's what it takes. But right now, I think it's risk versus reward. It's a smarter play than some of the other tokens that are floating around, but you won't get the same reward. That's what it comes down to.
If you want a 2 to 3x, buy XRP. But if you want a 10 to 100x, buy any other coin. Now,
what? By what, Miles? And by the way, I feel like we've fucking lost that trade. Sorry.
Can I ask you a question? Dead serious question. In fact, serious. Glasses have to come off for this question.
Glasses off.
The question is now on the screen.
I'll sit straight.
Question:
How much has BitBoy paid me?
How much?
How much? 50,000 XRP.
So like what? Yeah. 15 grand?
I don't know. Is that a lot? Yeah, I don't even know how much that's worth.
So you made $15,000 of shilling XRP.
Yeah, me and BitBoy were like best mates. We smoke meth together.
Oh, bro, that's low. That's low. That's a really low one.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I'm really, really sorry. That was a horrible thing to say. I appreciate everyone's struggles and how hard things can be. I'm sorry, it just came out.
If you guys didn't know,
don't go into it.
You don't want me to explain?
No, I wasn't paid anything from anyone. We had this conversation last night lots of times, and oh god, oh, the comments have gone off.
Oh god, smashing the rock. That's terrible.
Oh god, sucking on the glass dick, but whatever. Yeah, no. Look, I own a very small amount of XRP, and it's literally just because of the reasons I said before. It's definitely, look, I reckon it'd be probably number 15 in my portfolio of quantity, maybe 20.
Are you guys drunk or what? Is the red wine getting to you, bro?
Yeah, I've drunk a bottle of red wine tonight, I think, which has been fun, which has been nice. You have changed. Thanks, Chaos, my homie. Yeah, I know. I don't look. I agree that I'm surprised that this has been my view, but after everything that we've been slapped in the face with at this point, going backwards and backtesting what has survived and what has died, it's been interesting to see what's still solid. And as much as I hate to admit it, and I've never been a massive fan, XRP's stuck around and it's been there the whole time. So now we've got Blues Brothers Miles. He's back, baby. I'm doing
a rotation. All right. XRP aside.
Yeah, and sorry, just one quick thing. Yep, Hayden, you're right, bro. It does. Meth ruins lives and it's shit. And I'm sorry I said that, but it was pretty funny.
All right. XRP talk aside, I actually don't mind it. That's why it's on the list, because I think if you want to invest in, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. There's just better, right? But I think it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you and I ended up putting it on the list more so out of the fact that we know I think that's what won was the top 10 argument and being in the top 10 for so long. That's what won. And then also your insider information from when you were drinking champagne on a yacht with the bigwigs at XRP being a big shot.
I actually didn't go on the yacht. No, I was at another party. But I had mates come to the after party that went on the yacht and then gave me the rundown.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I was on the yacht at F1 though.
Okay. Yeah. So your insider info also the fact that they've potentially locked. Oh, can we say this if it's insider info or not?
Well, depends what it is.
Well, about the court case pretty much being wrapped up.
Oh no, I don't think it's insider. Like, if people talk about it at a conference, it's whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Well, then that as well. That also adds to the bull case. And then, yeah, FTT, man. This is our next argument. Fucking
Why
hell.
on earth is FTT there? How much has Sketchy Sam paid you? Firstly, I mean,
Here we go. I really need to go to the toilet. Can I just run to the bathroom?
Yeah, go to the toilet.
Yeah, I'll be back in a sec, guys.
We never
BTW, just before I go, Miles and I had another massive argument about FTT as well.
We did. No. Oh, we're going to have another. This is great. Okay. He argued for XRP. He's like, XRP's the future, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, there's better risk rewards. But he's like, put it on the list. I'm like, fine, I'll put it on because it'll be interesting to talk about. FTT comes around. I added FTT to the list. I'm like, it's great. It'll be a top exchange. We'll get into the argument later. And then he argued against me. So he wanted XRP. I didn't. I wanted FTT and he didn't. So probably another debate about to happen. I like FTT. Just quickly on that comment, we never accept any paid tokens. We never shill tokens on the shows. Never accept a single dollar to shill a token on the show. I know, like, you guys already know that. We're very transparent with that, but I thought I'd mention it again. I know they're mostly jokes, but I thought I'd just, go over that again. Like, obviously, we're not getting paid for any of these tokens. In fact, some of these tokens I'm going to reveal later, I don't even own. Now, why is that? Because this is my list that I'm looking at accumulating over the next year. Not all of which I own, right? I have no interest in pumping my own bags. I want you guys to build these portfolios with me. I want you guys to do your own research as well and then build amazing portfolios with me over the next couple of years, right? So, let's look at these lists openly together, not all of which I'll own, not all of which you might own, but, they're still great talking points and some of these are amazing projects, right? Just to quickly reiterate before Sounds Tricky comes back and we probably argue about FTT, I'd also love to hear Rand's thoughts because Rand has some great opinions on FTT. He might join the show. If he does join the show, then I will ask him about it. And we'll probably go through this list again, but I have a case. I have a case for FTT. So let's talk about it. I just gave the people a rundown.
Okay.
I guess gave the people a rundown of how are you on the beers now? Oh, no, it's Sampel.
It's mineral water. It's time to hydrate. So
you smashed a whole bottle of red wine.
Oh, it's been like 3. It's been like it's 10 to 11 now. And I started drinking, I had a glass of red wine from at about 6:30 when I had dinner. I only smoked 2 pipes of meth between then and now. Sorry. So
have you ever smoked meth?
No, have not. No. And it's a horrible drug and it's shocking. It ruins people's lives. It's fucked up and I shouldn't be joking about it. But I'm a little bit drunk. I'm a little bit drunk, so I apologize.
Not that if you had, you'd say.
No, honestly, if I had, I would say, but I haven't, and I know I've got friends that I went to school with whose lives were ruined by it, and it's shocking, and I shouldn't be joking about it, but it's
is. And we won't run through the list of other drugs.
No, but FTT. So
quickly changes the subject, guys.
Why is FTT better,
guys? No. Hold on. Sorry to cut you off. I know that's a bit rude.
No, it's all right,
guys. Is this a subtle way of you pumping your ice bags?
reckon fucking Daniele's on it. That's for sure. Anyway, why is this dude
The comments are hilarious right
I
now.
know.
You had
I
some
know.
coke though, bro. 2 pipes. That's it. I'm on my second dust.
Outrageous. Outrageous. Very good. It's good to see everyone gets the jokes. It's good to see everyone gets the jokes.
Sneak Schiller popsicle. Oh god, the chart just gave me like severe.
It's scary, isn't it? Fucking hell. I saw
PTSD.
well before, about an hour ago, someone put in their let's talk
The
about
drunk guy, though.
time
Miles, who's the
Wonderland as
guest?
well.
The guest is this guy. His name's Sounds Tricky. His Twitter link's in the description. He's crazy. He knows his stuff, but he's also crazy. But that's kind
Sorry,
of
I'm pretty loopy.
right?
But also, like,
Aussies.
why don't you explain our relationship? So I've been Miles' researcher for a long time in the background.
Yeah.
That's kind of the
we
relationship.
researched a lot together. So basically, like, my shows
Well
take
back when.
hours and hours to plan. Some of these, especially the DeFi heavy ones. So what Sounds Tricky and I would do is, before each show, we would like go through the best strategies. We'd make charts. He'd make me charts. And he used to help plan the shows. And then one day I said, do you just want to come on the show with me? Because like we do very similar research. Why not? Why not like come on the show? Because you're already well versed in the kind of content I'm creating. So we did it once, then twice, and probably like 4 or 5 times now. And now we're streaming more because it's just fun, right?
Yeah, I think at this point we're just trying to have a bit of fun. And
your
just
followers mooning.
Get away from the seriousness of how shit everything has turned on everyone, and we just want to have some fun and bring some happiness and some laughs to everyone, as well as maybe give you some info that we think is kind of interesting at this point. So I think that
sounds like a lot of planning happened at the pub. We should do that.
No, not enough planning happened at the pub, Patrick.
Yeah, because I was in Miami and I was in Cape Town.
It was kind of weird. Like when we first kind of met, I was in Melbourne and Miles had left and he was living in Cape Town, and we started just communicating from other sides of the world. Excuse me. And that was kind of how we got to where we are now. But then now he's gone full circle, come back. So then now it's a little bit closer to home. And just looking at this Bitcoin train, I don't reckon we're going to get up.
They're pumping your follower numbers, bro.
Oh, thanks,
Already
legends.
Up a couple hundred.
Jump on board, legends. Thank you.
All right. So
I promise
that
I'll
was
post
not
some
an
dodgy shit. I promise I'll post some dodgy shit that maybe will make you laugh, and then maybe something that might be even interesting as well.
Anything he tweets is not financial advice, by the way.
No,
mine isn't.
I run all financial advice runs through Miles first.
Well, mine's not financial advice. It's in the thing. But like, if it were to be financial advice, hypothetically, it would be better financial advice.
It would be.
It's still
it
not.
Would be because I play dodgy plays. Very dodgy plays.
We've had. I mean, you guys can follow me as well if you want, like, massive threads and like crazy freaking spiels and all sorts of alpha. But yeah, all right. I shill aside. Let's look at FTT. Boom, boom, boom. I wish I had a soundboard. I need to get a soundboard.
I know. I was thinking that as well. I've got the sound effects here, but it probably wouldn't be able to hear it anyway. Okay, so FTT.
Oh, by the way, this guy likes your skipping on Twitter. You did a video.
Thanks,
where
bro. Yeah, I do. I try to get motivational as well and get active. Got to keep physical, keep fit, because otherwise.
Right.
But let's talk about FTT because everyone's been interested. Miles loves it. I think Rand loves it as well, doesn't he? He's like full
likes it. Rand likes
FTT
it.
guy.
I think you like it, Rand. Rand, if you're watching the show, if you have any thoughts, feel free to text
FTT.
them. Or you can just join the show and we can talk about it.
Yeah, we can do that.
I mean, basically, it's a bet on Sam, right? If you're betting on FTT, the way the token accrues value through its staking and through its burn, so the more transaction volume that occurs on FTX means that the FTT tokens get burnt. I believe that 30% of tokens on FTT 30% of the trading revenue on FTX is used to burn.
Buy back.
FTT.
They buy back and burn.
Buy back and burn.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is you can stake your FTT tokens, and if you stake these FTT tokens, you can increase your increase your spreads or decrease your fees, one or the other. So there's a financial incentive to
but
stake.
The argument we had the other night is, how is it better than, say, CRO token, or, I mean, BNB is slightly different. We had this exact argument yesterday because BNB doesn't accrue value in the same way that the FTT token does. But if you're betting on an exchange and an exchange token at this point, and this is kind of where we struggled last night, you and I, is we tried to break all this down into categories to try and pick the specific categories and why we wanted to choose these categories, and not overstack specific categories, because you can't have 10 tokens that are all gaming, right? You need to pick the best gaming for whatever reason. You need to pick the best exchange token. So how is FTT better than BNB? And that's where my big argument came into this conversation that we had last night. Rand will probably shoot me down on this one.
Am I supposed to rebut that? Or
Come
am
on.
I supposed to? Okay. Firstly, it's a full question of market cap. So Binance is the bigger exchange. It has the better product from it. You know, BNB being an L1 perspective. Obviously, FTT is not an L1. It's a ERC20 token. BNB has a market cap of 33. FTT, relatively speaking, well, I mean, it's a 10x multiple to but BNB. It's not to say it's the better project, because I'd probably disagree with that on an apples to apples, one-to-one type comparison. But from a pure upside perspective, I think that FTX has more upside, considering Binance has that lion's share of the total market. I think in total crypto exchanges, Binance is now the biggest. Coinbase is second. FTX actually did in the last week more volume than Coinbase. So the bet on FTT is the bet on FTX becoming like the second biggest exchange, or at least scaling with the other exchanges, you know, for the next bull run. Exchange tokens are interesting. I think you got to own one or two. Like, I think, you know, in a comprehensive portfolio, you got to own one, because it's an infrastructure play, right? So you can buy Coinbase shares, you can buy all sorts of things, but FTT for me is one of the better token buys. Token buys, not share buys. So that's just my case. Like, I think it'll do well, because I like Sam. I'm going to bet on him. FTX,
yeah, but if you're going to bet on Sam, and we said this last night as well, Solana's their backbone, right? So they've built Solana, and that's their L1 that is tied into their company. If you're going to bet on Sam, is Solana not the better bet, or is FTT the better bet?
FTT. He's much more involved with FTT. Alameda's involved with Sol, and who knows how. He hasn't tweeted on Sol in a while, so we don't really know what's going on there. You know, to its full extent. Keith said, "Isn't BNB looking at lawsuits too?" Yep, they are looking at. I think what the SEC were going after them for BNB's, like, I don't know, something about BNB. I don't actually know the full story.
KSC, is that the KuCoin? Someone's put KSC. That's the KuCoin token, right? Is KSC? So KSC is the KuCoin token. I don't know how that accrues value. I would assume they probably do something similar to what FTT does, and I don't know for sure. But also, we looked last night, Miles and I, we looked through the exchange revenue and the volume that the different exchanges are turning over. And KuCoin ranks at like number 6, I think it was, as far as actual volume is concerned. So if you're betting on an exchange, the clear bets are easily Binance and FTX, because they are clearly the front runners. I think Binance by a long shot, the bubbles in the mineral water. Binance by a long shot, but then also FTX was a lot higher than the second one, I remember, right?
Where is this coin?
I'm pretty sure Binance turnover was something like 9 billion. FTX was like 2, and then the next closest after that was 500 million or something like that. I feel like that was about right from last night.
I got it. Okay, Binance 24-hour volume, by far the biggest, 16 billion.
By far, yeah. This is 24-hour volume. I think we looked at yearly last night.
We can change
annual turnover.
It's not showing it here, but
it's all right. I think it's the same thing. It gives you the same breakdown, really. Anyway, I mean, you can look at that. So KuCoin falls in at number 6.
OKX.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I didn't expect that.
KuCoin, but this is daily, so something may have happened, like a launch or something. Coinbase, FTX, already flipping Coinbase, not on the yearly, but by no means, but on the 24-hour. anecdotally, a lot of my friends and fellow
No, I think
traders,
on the
etc.
yearly it would flipped it as well, though. We looked at the yearly yesterday, and it was up by a lot more than that. So I'm sure that was the same breakdown we saw last night, but on the year, not on the 24-hour. So it's probably representative of how it pans out over the whole year. Someone's put, so Sam is the new Do Kwon.
What the hell? OKX. I don't know why it's ranking so high on all these lists.
Well, it could just be a whale moving something through it in the last 24 hours, or is it high on all the lists?
I'm going through now. I'm trying to get the actual chart so we don't, I want to get the right data or I won't show it. Otherwise, it's like.
Yeah, so someone's got CRO on here as well. And we said that last night. We had this conversation because they've done really smart things. So the CRO credit card is a really interesting concept, the way that works. And the way that you can get a credit card, and I think it changes your interest rate based on how much CRO you stake. So I think it does that, and it basically, the more CRO you stake, the better your rate is with their credit card. It's something along that line, which is a super smart way to use your token because it incentivizes people to lock up their tokens, which is a really good idea. But also, I think I've got this feeling that they announced that they were dropping all their rates in relation to the card and the way the card interacted with that discounted fee. So basically everyone just got a notice saying that their rates had been dropped by a fuck ton, which is pretty shit considering people signed up for a reason and then they just got the rates basically rugged.
Apologies for the coughing.
Nothing they could do.
Still sick with the
COVID, with the spicy flu. The spicy flu.
Spicy flu. I'm getting better. I must admit, the first night was not fun, but I'm getting better. Hopefully tomorrow we don't regress again. Okay, so yeah, this was the Binance probe. The Exchange Commission, SEC, opened an investigation over the 27 ICO of their BNB token, so the launch of the token. The agency is examining whether the token's offering constitutes a security sale. So if it's officially a sale of a security, which would mean it would have needed to be registered. If it was supposed to constitute a security and it wasn't registered, that's obviously a major issue. Could have huge legal ramifications. I don't know the truth and the severity of this. They're likely picks for a lawsuit, but there's been no such lawsuit announced. They're just probing. So, they may very well settle. It may very well not come to fruition, but they are probing. So it's just interesting to kind of look at. All right. FTT. I think we've covered that enough. I like it. I'm betting on Sam. I think you should own one exchange token. You could put BNB in there. You could probably put CRO or KCS. I prefer FTX. Personally.
I'm not going to argue this through, but because let's get to the next one.
Well, if you have an argument, state it.
I think we've covered it. I mean, I think for me, it's between FTT and BNB.
You prefer BNB?
I personally prefer BNB. Yeah, I prefer it because I think it's got more use cases. It's got an L1. It's got a network built behind it. It's got huge amounts of users. It's got gas fees that are charged to it. I think that Binance is a stronger exchange. That's my opinion.
Link. Yeah. We are getting some more likes. So you guys have unlocked every 100 likes. We're unlocking an altcoin.
Unlock. Unlock.
And
successful.
You are now up to 1.7. I think that gets us.
That's all we need. We need like an unlock sound effect. Unlock successful.
Do we have anything? You know what? Before we get into Link and before we reveal the next one after that, because I will reveal it, I think a lot of people need to just get a little bit more hyped. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. Let's hype them up.
Let's go.
Yeah.
If I become president, I'll make that the new uniform. All right, Link.
Love it.
Woo, Link, baby.
Link. Oh, Link. Linky dink.
Link.
We love Link. We both love Link.
Link into a link.
We do. We love Link.
Why do you love Link?
I love Link because it's the space leader.
The Oracle leader. Leader of oracles.
It is the Oracle leader that feeds our DeFi love. And we love DeFi. And without DeFi Link love, we have no DeFi. And they are by far the number one company or provider in this field, and it's always going to be needed. And that's my thesis behind why Link is worth holding now and moving forward. You've got no sound.
I would largely agree with that thesis.
There you go.
I would say for the most, I actually got to go to the bathroom just quick. Can you hold the fort down?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Down. All right, talk about Link. Talk about
the
economics 2.0.
Yeah, well,
this
is the thing. Yeah. I'm interested to take a look into it because I don't know a great deal, but I know that they're starting to offer some kind of rewards with their validators, which is going to help staked Link earn yield, which I think is a really big deal moving forward for Chainlink. So I think it's the only oracle that DeFi uses. It's the number one. And why would you not want to invest in something that is the product leader in this area? And for me, Link's the only one. DeFi is going to be here forever. It's going to be around for a long time. And these guys are feeding everyone. So it's definitely something that's going to be around for a while. If you look back, they've been strong for a long time. I'm trying to find a chart where we can look back and see where they've been in the past. But let's have a look. I need Miles to help me out on this one. Okay, so trying to find their white paper moving forward.
Chainlink.
I've got the white paper finally. I've just been trying to find it to see what the next step in their evolution is, which is interesting.
Apparently, I'm the top Link influencer. It's like
you are.
I'm not. Literally, I do one tweet, and I instantly become the top influencer.
I'm just having a look through their white paper to try and find out what the Link 2.0 is going to actually be, because I don't know enough about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I do. So I got you covered, bro. Link economics. Okay, so basically, to summarize Link, for a while, like they had the best product in the space. So they were the best oracle. They were providing price data. But the issue was the only real way that the token accrued value was from these projects using Link to pay them for price data. So if you were a project, if you were Solana and you needed a price feed, for live pricing, you would pay Chainlink in Link tokens. So you need to acquire, buy up, and purchase Link tokens in order to facilitate, that transaction. Now, the problem with that is that there's not enough of a retail incentive to hold the Link token. Now, yes, the more projects that use Link, the more demand there is for the Link token. But on a retail side of things, there wasn't enough of an incentive to hold Link. This Chainlink Economics 2.0 changes things because suddenly you're getting staking rewards for Link. So previously you couldn't earn yield on it. Now you can earn 5%. They're also introducing multiple ladders from these volumes. So we got V0.1, V0.2, 3, 4, and then the staking rewards will, likely increase because, the more fees generated on the network, the more the stakers earn. Or the more Chainlink's utilized, the more projects use Chainlink.
Yeah.
So there's a great thread on this by DeFi Drew. I've also done a show on this actually last week. And he explains why this is bullish. A few reasons: increased security, community participation, which is basically what I'm saying, like that we didn't have that for quite a while. Reward real usage, more Chainlinks used, the more rewards, and then it allows node operators to differentiate themselves, competing for high value jobs. 4 very positive upgrades. I must admit, they didn't give me enough data in this roadmap. So there was an article. It was a great roadmap, but I wanted a little bit more from it. It was just, I want a bit more info. We did get I know I'm swiveling around like a maniac. We got the V0.1, 1, and V2 outlined here. But those are the big changes.
How does them offering validator nodes and staking options affect their presence in DeFi for their token.
Well, it's just
The one
incentivizes
thing,
more people to hold the
the
token,
one thing
right?
that's always been interesting about Link to me is its use case, right? So, I mean, yeah, cool. People use Chainlink to provide a service, which is an important service, but how does the token itself actually accrue value? That's what's always been kind of an interesting.
Well, now it does.
Well,
Fees,
yep,
staking rewards
yep.
from fee generation, and also like we can't forget, still the primary driver of growth is the fact projects need to pay in Link.
So
right?
the projects
They
are
need
going to
to
buy
buy
Link,
Link.
and then they'll buy Link, and then they'll pay back in Link.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
therefore
to
is
Link.
like a burning mechanism to Link. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
So
well, I was
I
sold
like
on
Link.
it I was sold on it by the fact that they're the leader providing what they do. So then it's even better
Hold
now.
on. Big Bird Brain says I need to wipe my face with that white paper.
With the Link white paper.
Yeah.
Wipe your face with the white paper.
Wipe my face with the white paper. Oh. White.
It's
Wiped.
wiped.
His
The white paper
is,
wiped his face. Vet, maybe in your list.
His arguments it has bad tokenomics. Now, bad is a spectrum because, you know, it's quite a broad word, right? So I wouldn't say it's bad. I'd say it's suboptimal, and it has been suboptimal to the tokenomics of many other projects. You know, I can name many projects with better tokenomics than Link. However, it is an improvement. And it's a token that has one of the biggest use cases in crypto. Like crypto can't operate without oracles. Link is the biggest, has the most partnerships. So like when you look at building a diversified portfolio, like just why not have an oracle in there? Like, and obviously Link's the biggest. So I love it long term because I know it's not going anywhere. And that's the thing. Some of these projects, they may go somewhere. Link
and that's what
ain't going anywhere.
Ain't going anywhere.
That's what we're trying to find. It's a bear market. We're not DCAing into just crap. We're DCAing into things that are going to be around. So yeah.
And this is part of the big conversation from last night as well, is what's going to last and why is it going to last? And so you look back in the list. Okay, so Bitcoin, yep. Ethereum, yep. XRP, proven. FTT, backing. Yeah, XRP shit, but proven. FTT, backing. Link, use case, right? So this is how we've kind of structured this list of whatever happened to Donkey, DeFi.
I'm actually excited because I don't know what's next.
I can't even remember what we put. I can't remember what we put next either. But
I'm excited, guys. Who else is excited? Because I'm excited.
Let's see. Where are we at? 1,000
It's like Christmas. It's like Christmas seeing these.
Unveil.
Whoa!
Boom.
Oh,
boom,
big
baby.
Hitter. Big hitter.
Layer 0.
Bang.
This is our first Layer 0.
Oh,
in the list.
It's almost tiring because whenever a new altcoin comes up, it's like just this. Like we're not gonna sit here and ramble for hours because we could talk. How long could we talk about DOT for?
Forever. We talk about DOT a lot. And then we've got staking strategies, and then we've got places to put DOT, and then there's expanding DeFi network, and the fact that they missed the bull run, and they're basically primed for the next bull run.
There's too much. There's too much. In fact, I'm going to refer you.
Let's skip DOT because, I mean, DOT's the one that's really just missed this bull run, right? That's the biggest thing. They didn't have enough.
They weren't ready.
They didn't have enough going at the right time, and they just got left behind. But they're going to be probably the front runner of the next one, in my opinion. Not financial advice.
Okay. This is the video. It's called The One Altcoin That Every Whale Is Still Holding. It's a 42-minute video I did on DOT. It's a 42-minute video on the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Go through everything. And it also gives you the best staking strategy. So that is my comprehensive DOT guide. The reason I say it's the one whale, the one coin that everyone's still holding is because of this. They are the most owned asset by crypto funds. Most owned asset by far. In fact, can I just get a way better chart? Most owned asset Masari crypto.
This is how Miles
I hate
researches.
this when you got to like search most owned asset.
This is
Most
the
owned, what's
Twitter research skills
yeah,
in
this is
full
the
effect.
research. The most commonly held, that might get it up.
Vault Inu. What's Vault Inu? Sounds like something I might like. Radix.
Most commonly held asset. Oh, you get there eventually, don't you?
You got it.
This is a very important chart to look at.
Yeah.
And it is looking at the top holdings of the crypto asset funds by VCs and top hedge funds. Luna, actually interesting, it's so high. The reason it was, and this is March 3rd, that's the last time Masai did a quarterly report. The reason Luna's so high is because it was basically the first time ever in history of crypto that VCs actually went underwater on a major L1. Like, we've never really seen that before. So that was a real anomaly. Anomaly. Yeah. So they're not there. It's not there now, of course. But for the most part, these are very, very good projects for a reason. And Polkadot is held the most out of any VC. So when I'm building a portfolio, how in my right mind can I exclude DOT? Like, how can I actively exclude the most held asset, right? Yeah. And it's not like this is the most held asset by dollar value. That would be different because VCs get in at ICO, their bags pump, it skews. This is the most by the number of firms. So the general consensus opinion
is that it's going to be good moving forward. And I think it is. And I think, you've seen how quickly it's expanded. I mean, I don't know, anyone who pays attention to the network has seen how quickly they've expanded over the last, 3 or 4 months has it been since everything started launching? And they've got is it the most amount of builders or the second amount of builders or something like that behind? Yeah, it's the second most
look at
builders
this.
behind Ethereum.
DOT has the second most developers, 1,400 full-time developers.
Crazy.
After Ethereum at 3,800.
Yeah.
The second most out of any ecosystem. So
it's fast, look, super fast.
I want to follow the smart money. I want to follow where the developers are going. I say this every show. Developers equal dApps. Great dApps equal user acquisition. User acquisition equals TVL and transactions. Transactions and TVL equal value accrual for the base token. In this case, it's DOT. So you've got to look where the developers are developing. Now, it doesn't mean it's a guaranteed success. There was heaps of developers on Luna and it failed. But it gives you a much stronger indicator as to where the money is going.
Kaylin put in the comments, it's the most held because of being locked in parachains. And yes, you're right, it is. But what you've got to understand as well, which is something that a lot of people don't know about DOT, is they've only got X amount of parachains, right? It's not like it's endless. There's only so many parachains. And if you want to have a parachain, you need to lock that DOT up. That same amount of DOT needs to be locked into each parachain.
Yeah.
So as
not old data, Tom. This is 2020, end of 2021, so only a few months ago. These reports come out quarterly, right? So you're not going to get a report every week. March 3rd's like pretty new in terms of assets. Sorry.
No, that's right. So just in relation to that, so when one person unlocks their DOT or one what's the best way to describe the individuals? I mean, like an L1 or whatever, whoever's on the parachain, once they unlock their DOT, it needs to be locked back into that, the same amount of DOT. So whatever's locked is going to always be locked, assuming that all the parachains are actually filled. So unless people start moving off the layer 0, which is Polkadot, and to begin with, then the same amount of DOT's always going to be locked, and it's only going to rotate from one project to the next.
Yep. 100%. All right. So we got DOT as the layer 0.
I love DOT. I've got an absolutely massive bag of DOT, and I've been buying.
I thought you were going to say you have a massive
bag of DOT. Massive bag?
No, a massive like dick or something.
Massive bag of DOT. Dotty.
Okay,
let's skip DOT.
Should we explain the difference between a layer 0 and a layer 1?
Yeah, go for it.
Layer 0, base network. You can build other layer 1s on top. Layer 1s, if you want to scale, you either need, obviously you can do subnets like AVAX, or you need layer 2s, which come in underneath because they supplement some of the transactions happening on the base layer 1, and they alleviate pressure off the network. So layer 2s help scale layer 1s. Layer 1s can be built on top of layer 0s. DOT is technically a layer 0 because its parachains are individual projects, which can then operate off the DOT network. So once you understand that, then you've got to look at which parachains and which projects that are being built on DOT are going to be the successful ones. Moonbeam, Moonriver, two different ones. Moonriver's technically on Kusama, but we'll get to it in a sec. Moonbeam's probably the main one. You also got what? You're laughing at something.
Oh yeah, someone who is at Sniper's Nightmare has just said, "Are you guys even checking? You even checking the trades?"
No, we are.
I've got it in the top of my screen, and it's when we're nowhere near entry, so we might not get it. It's not.
Yeah, we might not, and that's, to be honest,
fine. That's what happens.
If we rock it down from here, that proves that our logic was right with the short.
Yeah,
it's just annoying because we're picky with entries. We're not trying to be like, we're not trying to just do a trade for the sake of it. We're trying to like make money, and the way to do that's be picky. So that's why like the trading shows sometimes go on for so long because you're waiting for the entry.
They're trying to get the entries as well.
But yeah. All right. Moonbeam, one of them. I really, really like Moonbeam. I like what they're building. I think it'll be one of the more successful parachains on DOT. It does have a lot of unlocks to come. I think if we look at it, look at it's fully diluted, it still is quite high. 300, yeah, it's got like a 3x in emissions to still occur with that infinite max supply. Of course, that's a little bit skewed
never
because
great. Yeah.
This isn't great because it's still got lots of unlocks, and in a bear market that could hamper it. But this list is not a list we're looking at and saying you need to buy these today. No, this is your watch list, and your DCA plan may revolve around some of these tokens. But this is like a watch list. It is not a let's buy now. We're going to talk about when we're buying. I can already tell you I'm starting to deploy into the safer assets. Your Bitcoins, some of these L1s we're probably going to get into here.
I think I said before I've been buying Bitcoin for a while now.
But I personally, Moonbeam, Moonriver, great projects. I'm happy to have a little nibble. I'm happy to like nibble over a long period of time. But the problem is we need a little bit more macro clarity because these small caps, they are going to get smashed if the market keeps going down. So it's much safer to start deploying into L1s and Bitcoin ETH than it is to go into these small caps now. And that's just the reality of the market. However, you'll probably see that these larger L1s outperform, if not perform very strongly to their counterparts anyway. So like you may very well make those gains on a DOT and then you can diversify later. Another strategy. But if you're putting, let's say, $1,000 into DOT, what percentage would you allocate into these, or would you be completely leaving out the risky ones now and just going for the base L0s?
No, I've kind of done it a bit different because I was like, I have been a parachain staker with my DOT early on, as well as a bit of Kusama. So I kind of got allocated the Glamour and the Moonriver from locking away Kusama and DOT. So if I'm buying anything right now, I'm just buying DOT. But in all honesty, I'm not buying DOT because I have lots of DOT, and I am now staking that DOT on various networks or DeFi protocols on the Polkadot network. And I'm just earning more DOT that way, and I'm just leaving it there. So set and forget, basically. So I've got all my DOT staked on. I've bought a lot of DOT. I've got all my DOT staked on parallel finance at the moment, where I'm earning about, I think it's like 15% at the moment.
And that strategy's here, by the way.
That strategy's in there. I think we worked on that strategy together anyway.
Yeah, we did.
And I'm just recompounding that there at the moment and just leaving it there. So instead of selling anything, I'm just literally just stacking more DOT, compounding it, because long term, I think it's a great play. And I'm probably going to just leave it there for as long as I can.
Yep. No, I agree. I mean, I don't own as much DOT as you, so that's one I'm accumulating. Remember, what you accumulate has got to like work towards your...
We've had a super chat. What about Proton?
He asked. I don't know that much about it, so I can't.
Proton's
Like,
on Phantom, right?
No, he's not talking about Protofy. He's talking about XPR.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I know nothing about XPR then.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro.
And hey, you know what, Miles? It's getting pretty late, bro. I feel like we might have to cap this out a little bit soonish.
Yeah.
Maybe we do.
Maybe we do.
Yeah.
Let's wait till 3 hours and then let's see if Rand's coming.
Okay. So we need to waffle
because I respect what you're saying.
Yeah.
But these guys, all right. Let's go through a bit faster then.
Okay. We don't need to go through it faster.
We won't get through this whole list, but we're
not going to get through the whole list. Yeah. No. I don't think so.
Oh.
Oof.
Oh,
oof.
God.
Oof. 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 Okay, so who wants to start? Because I'm a soul man. Do. I'm a soul man. Do.
All right, Solana. All right. Firstly,
the
elephant in the room, the massive elephant in the room.
Take up the whole attack.
It's the DDoSes.
We like to attack DDoS.
It's the DDoSes. It's the DDoS attacks. It's the downtime. It's the centralization. It's the all that stuff. All that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
All right, let's address it. All right, so firstly, they are launching a new initiative. They are going to be increasing the floor of.
No, they did that yesterday, didn't they?
They did.
They relaunched a new upgrade yesterday.
Yep,
I think, or the day before.
It
was one or the other. So something to do with compartmentalizing different protocols into different blocks. Something along that line.
Yeah, this guy's taking the piss.
So about moving everything off the same. Is that that's what it was? It's compartmentalizing everything into individual. I'm just trying to remember. I read it the other day, but my memory sucks because I drink too much red wine.
Solid. It's different. So yeah, they want to implement. So the reason why it's so easy for a lot of these DDoS attacks to occur is because Sol's so cheap. Now, this is a testament to how good the tech is in one respect, because it's so cheap that it's so easy to attack. Now, that's also a downfall. Like, Sol literally is so cheap. It can handle crazy transactions, but then that's also resulted in attacks and downtime. It's almost too good that it's created a flaw, a big flaw. They are trying to fix it. Now they're actively working on increasing that limit. In the meantime, whilst they work on some other solutions, I actually think, as a speculation, of course, but I actually think that Solana will fix these issues.
I agree.
Think that they're going to overcome them. It's more a matter of, can they overcome them in time before other L1s eat more market share? That is the real issue.
I think the on Rand's show from Friday had Vinny Lingham on, and he was talking about it. And the way he described it was you're moving things off the one space into their own individual spaces, which means that the DDoS attacks can't compile on top of each other and cause the network to crash. Which is, I mean, that's the layman's term. I'm not a developer or a technical or whatever, so I don't know the ins and outs, but basically that's my understanding of it, is that effectively they're moving things into different sections so that they can't be crunched, which is causing the crash. And then my massive pro for Solana and why I love it so much, and we had this conversation yesterday, is gaming. And it's flat out, no one in the stream probably knows, but I've developed games here and we've released games on iPhone and we've done a whole lot of app games before. It's part of what I do here. And gamers don't give a shit about networks. They do not give a fuck. All anyone cares about is speed. How quickly can you process transactions? And without a doubt, Solana is the fastest transactor of data out of all the L1s. And so therefore my theory behind why Solana is going to be one of the front runners moving forward is because gaming is going to move to Solana because it transacts quicker than anything else. That's what I got.
I would largely agree with that. It's got to solve its issues, but it's one I'm betting on because it's so beat down. And when a project gets fudded like this with such strong tech, it really is a signal for me to start DCAing, which is something I'm doing because I do believe in Sol, despite its issues. Now, the issues present a market risk, and that's just a risk you're going to have to absorb, obviously, by having a dedicated portfolio weighting that doesn't completely wreck you if those risks come to fruition. But, a $31 Sol, it's already down from its high of 250. It's starting to get to those levels. It can go much lower. For some reason, my face is itchy. It could go much lower. However,
it's a spicy flu.
I know, right? Long term, it's one of those bets that I think could perform very well. Market cap, come down a lot, 11 bill. Obviously, it's still got a bit of dilution, puts it fully diluted at like 14, 15 bill. Not too absurd. Not too absurd. So I like Sol. I like it a lot. I don't like it better than some of these other ones. I probably prefer Dot, to be honest, at the moment. And some of these other ones you're about to see in a sec. I probably prefer.
I think what we kind of discussed, I'm just looking at this now, Solana is down 87.2% from all-time high. So that's a massive smack in the dick. Got absolutely whacked. Absolutely whacked. There's no money.
Monetized,
it's okay. No money. Smoko break. Yeah. Let's do Smoko break.
YouTube is going to demonetize
totally
us
demonetize us.
Profanity. If you haven't already, use this link in the description if you want to trade on BYBIT, and you can get $4,200 as a sign-up bonus, and as well potentially get your account 10x. So it's literally in the link in the description. Sign up, deposit, have fun on BYBIT, and yeah, trade responsibly, of course. But since YouTube is making us no money, we're gonna need some sign-ups, guys, as a bit of a compensation for the sheer profanity of this stream, because we're definitely getting demonetized. Definitely getting
demonetized. And I reckon we might have missed our entry for that thing, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we missed.
Let's
see how it goes. Ran really wants to join though. Tricky.
Get him on.
So he's saying he's trying to, but I don't know if trying to means like an hour or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's keep going through this list.
Well, I think just the Sol play again. I think for me it's about speed, and I think that we'll find that people who are moving towards speed as an overall concept for their transactions will end up on Sol. And I think that's partially why you're kind of looking at something like Steppen that's on there, and the way they're doing things as well is because it moves it's fast. There's lots of little transactions that need to happen a lot of the time. And I think that's what Sol is geared for.
Oh.
And I think you and I had this argument last night about trying to find a space for everything, right? Remember? What's up?
I'm reading comments. Just be honest, everyone here chilling, pretending nothing happened while portfolios burn into the ground. We are now looking forward. We're saying, okay,
it's burning.
The market's screwed. We already went through our levels earlier in the video. If you want to go back later and you want to watch our price targets, we've talked about it a lot. I didn't want to make today's stream all about where we're going to crash to and all that macro stuff, because we cover that every single day. Yeah. Today is about
we just wanted to just have a chat. This is all today is. It's not about.
It's just fun for us.
Just have some fun, right? Let's just fucking shake the monkeys off our fucking backs, because everyone's in a world of shit right now. No one's happy about anything, and it's whether you're in crypto or whether you're in anything, it's fucked everywhere. So let's just have a laugh, right?
Yeah. So we're in the next phase, and that next phase for us is looking at
moving forward,
looking at what we want to accumulate. We're getting generational accumulation opportunities.
Yeah.
Get your watch list. Now's the time to get your watch list together, because you're going to regret it when the market is pumping again. It may not be soon. It may be in a year's time, but when it does, you want to be prepared. So now's the time to really hone down on your research. I'm looking into every one of these projects on this list with intent.
DeFi brothers, don't look at price. Look at accumulating coins. Bang on, bro. That is the way. That is the way forward.
My caveat to that would be only if the coins are gonna survive, and only if they're quality.
Yes.
Because if you're accumulating like some of these tiny dexes on like a 10th tier L1, then maybe that's dumb. But yeah. All right, next one.
Do we have enough likes or what?
No, we do. We've got one
We're
more.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, we do. We've got 1.8. Oh, we got heaps more.
Oh,
Okay.
you are okay. This caused another argument last night.
It did.
I said I'm accumulating AVAX, and you said what did you say?
I said no AVAX for me.
That's crazy.
No AVAX for me.
Wait, what is that? What impression is that?
I don't know. I'm just making something.
Sounds like Yoda, bro. Do that again.
No AVAX for me.
How many glasses of wine have you had?
I've stopped. I haven't had a glass of wine for like an hour now, I reckon.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm good. Oh, Miles is still going hard. No, I
stopped.
stopped.
I got to top up just before, you know.
Oh. I stopped. AVAX, huh? You love it.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to go hard.
I don't love it.
Go hard on the VAX.
You know what? I'm going to say I don't love it because love's a strong word. So is hate.
Yes.
I'd say I like it. I say there's other L1s I prefer.
Yes. And this was the argument we had last night. Okay. So my argument for this and not loving AVAX is purely because we have Sol directly above it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
Opportunity cost.
You can't own everything though. You just can't. It's just not.
We are not removing this recording. We're not doing it. We're going to keep this up.
This recording
even though
will be removed.
we might need to cut out multiple seconds.
We literally said as well, I bet you we get fucking pulled off after
By
this
the way,
tonight.
Drink responsibly, trade responsibly.
Don't do meth.
Don't do meth. They're the biggest talking points from this video.
Yes.
James, if you're watching, or Kyle, switch off ads now because they're just going to get denied anyway. So just turn them off. Let the people watch for free. If you need me to send you the $50 or ad rev, I'll subsidize.
Bang. Miles, doing it for the people. Just doing it for the people.
All right. I've got the code.
So my argument anti-AVAX is that you can't own every L1 in your portfolio. And you need to take a bet on what you believe in more than something else for a specific reason. Now, I think AVAX is awesome. I think it's really good tech, if that's the way you want to look at it. But we came for the money and we stay for the tech.
Woo!
Hey, we're here for the tech now. So I think that you just can't own everything. And for me, AVAX falls into the category, and we put it on the list anyway. But for me, AVAX falls in the category of...
I got rid of him. You guys didn't want him on anymore. All right, guys. It's just me for the rest of the show. So, all right. I think AVAX is, a really good proposition because I think with their whole subnet architecture... Okay, no, we got to get him back on. Sorry.
Xander, thanks, bro. Fuck, last time I give you some fucking advice. Jesus.
Yeah, let's do an Australian meetup. Let's do a Melbourne meetup. Let's do a Melbourne meetup.
Yeah, let's do a Melbourne meetup. That'd be awesome.
If you want to short, there's a BYBIT link in the description, and I'm in Australia, so you should be able to as well if you want to short.
Yeah,
on BYBIT. That is very doable.
But I really think we've missed it at this point.
No, but I'm not necessarily talking about this trade.
No.
Specifically, but a future trade, yeah. But BYBIT will be your go-to for Oz. I actually think BYBIT in Australia is quite good. Binance is also pretty good in Oz, but I don't know. I just prefer, I genuinely, not even sponsored right now.
I find the interface better on BYBIT, to be honest.
Not even from a sponsored perspective, as a genuine user, I actually do prefer BYBIT to the others. Genuine.
You know what I love about and this is serious as well. I'm not trying to fucking shill BYBIT. Is trailing stop loss, man. Best invention ever.
Mm-hmm.
Best invention ever. It means you can set your stop loss at, say, a 5% difference to the price, And as, let's say, you're trailing down, as the price goes down, your stop loss moves with it within a space of whatever you set. So that could be 5% or 10%. And then as soon as the price retraces that 10%, then it stops you out, which means if it keeps going in the direction you want it to, you keep getting more gains, and then it only stops on the way back. Genius.
It is genius.
That's what I love about it. I use that all the time.
What were you saying about AVAX before? CoinSpot's awful, Joshua. Their fees are ridiculous.
Yeah, CoinSpot's horrible. I started on, I think in Australia, I started on CoinSpot. That was the first exchange I bought something on, and then I got everything off there pretty quick. If you're in Australia and you want to use an Australian exchange for on and off ramping, which kind of makes sense, I reckon Swift is the best one, to be honest. Swift Effects, is that what they're called?
And I'm not trying to fart any exchange. Like I'm not. I've just personally found it very high fees. So they have expensive. A trading. Do they have derivatives and perp on?
No, they don't. I think they might, but the spread is also really, the spread's not good either. It's like the trading value is not great in comparison to what you can get on other exchanges. So I wouldn't use CoinSpot personally.
I mean,
no. CoinSpot is chat. What does that mean, Justin?
Can you short?
Oh, no, you can't. No, all you can do is buy.
You can't?
No, you can't. You can't short. You can't short along. There's no leverage trading. It's literally just a spot buy. It's just spot buying.
Don't use the damn thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to be rude. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to defame them or anything. I'm just saying.
I think it's good. I think it's a real good entry point for people who are just getting into crypto, but it's not something you want to, like, if you want to just buy and hold stuff, CoinSpot's good. But if you're going to hold it for a long time, I wouldn't use that one personally.
Next coin on the list, just quickly, before we get into the next coin on the list, AVAX.
Yeah, you wanted it on here, and you were big for it. I'm not anti-AVAX in any way. I just think that if we're going to have an L1, for me, Sol is the pick.
I mean, they're going after,
what it comes down
AVAX
to.
is going after this long-term vision. Their goal is to be long-term, the most scalable network, and they're doing that through subnets. Yes, it has diverted traffic away from the main network. Yes, it means the AVAX gas burn is not as good as we previously thought. But from a long-term perspective, if there are more subnets, it means more people, more projects, more subnets need to lock up AVAX in order to, facilitate those subnets. So I do like it. I think it's good long-term. Joe is the main DEX. And this C column here is eco plays underneath them, but this is like small percentage shit. This is like less than
super low
percentage stuff.
Joe did a tweet. Joe did a big
tweet, by the way.
Oh, he is. So, Joe did a big tweet the other day about Trader Joe about runway as well, which is super important now. And Trader Joe did a massive tweet talking about they've got quite a lot of runway, so that's interesting as well to take note of.
Backstore. COVID, you get the aches. You get like,
man, we've been streaming for 3 hours, dude. And just so everyone knows, this is what we fucking do every day.
Every night.
This is literally just Miles and I on a chat having this conversation.
So, Ran is joining.
He is.
So if you were thinking of leaving, it's going to get spicier because
it's going to get way spicier.
I'm sure there's a lot of talking points.
So it's so late.
Ran is, and I'm sorry, Tricky, but you might need to stay now just for at least half an hour.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Rand's literally saying he's walking to his office. I'm impressed. He drove all the way to the office on Father's Day.
Father's Day. Father's Day where?
Yeah, on a Sunday, just to join you guys. That's crazy.
Gas on AVAX.
His dedication is unparalleled. So he'll be coming. And he's going to probably rip us to shreds. It almost makes me want to go slower through this list until he comes. Because some of this next one is going to be a really interesting one.
I cannot even remember. Hey, Marco, I used to have some
let
Jade.
me take my screen off so I can sneak peek.
Marco's gone in there and said, what about Jade? Jade was interesting, man. Jade was a fucking debacle. That whole FUD campaign they ran internally was probably the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my entire life. They ran their own FUD campaign to try and get rid of weak hands. It's fucking funniest shit I've ever seen. So in all their Discords, they set up their own FUD campaign to try and get rid of everyone who they didn't think was going to be strong enough and holding long term.
What project did that?
Jade. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. It was 2 days of just sheer FUD. It was incredible, and people were people who didn't know what were going on were freaking out. Everyone was losing their shit. They started out as kind of a DAO, like the whole kind of Wonderland time concept, and then they transitioned.
You don't know what's next. For all you know, Kadena might be in here. Like you don't know what's coming.
We got a lot left.
We could have Doge.
This is like a whole nother stream coming. Someone asked about Doge as well.
We could have anything, guys.
There is a whole nother stream coming about what else we've got. And I reckon we're not even going to get through all of this.
Oh, the formula bar. I was clicking on stuff, so I gave away a couple. But even if I gave away these, even though I gave away these, I didn't click on these. I don't think. So I know what you're saying. I see you sneakies.
Oh, on
like
the
up
side.
here. So if I click on the link,
yes. Yeah,
I reckon I did this. I reckon I clicked on one.
Oh, well, let's do the next one then.
People are starting to say, I wanted Rand to talk about this one. All right. Whatever. We can still talk with him about it when he comes. It's clear now. It's near. It's clear it's near.
Oh, it's clear it's near. And again, this diverts back to our previous argument.
Does
look
it?
How many? Yes, because look how many layer ones we've got now.
Oh.
So this is the previous argument.
Oh.
You can't own everything. And most people can't own everything.
Oh.
So you need to
oh, can't they?
Oh, spare me the pain. Oh, the pain.
No, look, I think
why can't I own everything?
The thing is with L1s is if you own just a couple, it's too much risk. It's too much concentrated risk. If you own too many, it's too diversified and you won't get the gains you're looking for. So you have to make a select bets on a few L1s that you think will succeed, because there's no way of picking which one will be the top one. One of these may fail. In fact, not all three of these are likely to all be massive in 5 years. One or two of them could be worth nothing. But if you don't have a play, you're not going to pick the one that ends up 100xing or 50 or whatever, doing those massive multiples. So I like to spread across a few projects that I like, because I know that I can't nail that top one. Like I've got a good indicator.
It's mitigated risk. It's mitigating risk, right? You're spreading.
Yeah.
So
having
it's a balanced portfolio.
You can probably have 6 or 7, 8 L1s, but your conviction plays, your higher percentage plays, where you deploy more capital towards, will be in like 2 or 3. You're going to pick 2 or 3 that you love. It might be Near and Sol. It might be one of these other ones we're yet to get to. It could be Dot. But you're going to pick those plays and you're going to allocate more towards them. And then potentially one of these other L1s you're not as confident in. Maybe you don't love Near, but it's good enough that it could do well. So you hedge, like with sport, like yes. A saver, right? Like when you bet on sports, if you bet on like in a horse race and you bet $1,000 on a horse to win, and then there's another horse you think is going to do well and you kind of like, but you're not confident in, but you think it's a risk, you can put on a saver. So if that horse wins, then your main horse still, you can recoup the funds that you
basically
deployed. You break even, right?
Yeah.
Similar thing with these. Like, not all of these you'll allocate the same amount to. You're not going $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000. At least I'm not. I'm kind of going, okay, these are the ones I allocate more heavily towards. Honestly, right now, that's Near and Dot. That's me, though. You got to do your own research. And then these other ones, you still bet on them, but you just maybe bet less.
Yeah, but again, for me, it's isolating what each use case is going to be, right? The way I look at it is I look at what is the L1 good at and what are they going to achieve, and not necessarily achieve as in what are they trying to achieve, but what's going to be their best use case. And I'm probably going to be wrong. We're all probably going to be wrong, but effectively everything needs to be used for something, right? And so why would someone use these networks and what are they going to use them for? And when I start going down the list and adding more L1s on more L1s, then I start asking the question, well, what's their best use case? And so for me, I look at Sol and AVAX, for instance, back to this argument, even though we're one step behind, and I go, okay, great. I see Sol as being the network that is going to be used for video games because I've developed video games before, and I know that the most important thing to do when you're making a game is going to be the speed in the transactions because you want something to happen fast, right? Now, I know AVAX is great tech, but we know that Sol's the fastest, okay? And so then for me, I go, what's AVAX going to be used for? Well, they're not a great DeFi hub because there's better DeFi hubs. There's better I mean, if you're going for flat out DeFi, there's better than AVAX. And so then for me, it falls into a little bit of a bracket of, okay, yeah, cool. It's great tech. They know what they're doing, but where's it going to fall? And I kind of have the same vibe for Nia. And I know there's this massive argument that, hey, Nia's got heaps of VC backing, and it's all going to be about whether or not the VC backing is going to hold these guys up over the next 2 years. They need money, blah, 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 blah. But where's Nia's long-term strength? Where are they going to pull something out of the market that people are going to use it for and not use something else?
Are you arguing that they don't have that edge?
I'm asking, what is it? Right?
Do you not like Nia?
No. I'm just trying to categorize everything so that in my head, it makes sense as to what we're going to be using this thing for moving forward. Because to me, it's about use case. And it's about where's the bracket that this falls into long term? And what's it going to be used for? So what's Nia going to be used for? Is Nia going to be where banks store stable coins because it's super secure, it's got VC backing, it's got great stable yield, so the general population is going to use it as a savings account, right? Like, let's just find a bracket for it. Let's try and find a space for this protocol to sit somewhere within the overall world of use cases. All
right. Nia protocol, firstly. Wow. The development.
SHIB is def on that list. Fucking YJT99. Oh, the SHIB conversations Miles and I have had.
Woo!
SHIB. Oh, we've SHIB'd. We have SHIB'd. It's the SHIB. So SHIB. So SHIB.
All right. Fuck SHIB. Let's move on.
Fair.
Nia protocol, $850 million development fund. Gotta be one of, if not the biggest in crypto amongst the L1s. That's massive. You can't underestimate that. The VC backing, I got this up yesterday and it was a pain to find. I'm going to try and get it again. It's the Nia VC backing list. I've never seen.
And it was huge. We had a whole list of all the big backers that were looking.
I've never seen an L1 have this much backing. It's incredible. And we know how important VCs are when it comes to L1 success. We know that. I mean, look at this. Multi-coin capital. A16Z, I reckon they're going to be one of the biggest crypto hedge funds, VC funds. They are, they're very, very strong. Coinbase got involved. Arrington, Pantera, basically everyone. 3 Arrows didn't. So maybe that's a good thing. Or did they? No, they did. 3 Arrows did actually. No, 3 Arrows did actually. But I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure of the exact story, but they had a story where their tokens weren't liquid. Oh boy!
Oh shit! Look out!
I wasn't coming, but I'm only here for a couple of minutes because we're actually about to start school, which is why you can see I'm in the school classroom.
Oh, he's in the classroom. The teacher has arrived.
But I've been listening to you guys DJing. Loving your content. I think an amazing combination of like technical and fundamental analysis. Actually, I think it's like you guys nailed the perfect combination of technicals and fundamentals. I'll give you guys that much. I think that you guys have got shit taste in shitcoins. That I can tell you. I mean, I heard a lot of talk about shit case in fucking shitcoins.
Fuck, we haven't even dived deep into the shitcoins yet. We're trying to stay top level. It's just the XRP shitcoin at the moment.
Yeah,
you
I
don't
mean,
like the
and I jumped in. I think I jumped in at a pretty good time. You guys spoke about Near, and I think Near is a very interesting token, super interesting token. Why? Because I think Near is where all the VCs that missed Solana have gone. Because if you look at like Near versus Solana, so it's the same tech with the same foundational structure, but there's not as many protocols or projects that have started building on Near yet. Now, we know that Solana is a very, very, very good piece of technology, right?
Yeah.
Near is also a very good piece of technology, obviously written slightly different. And I think that a lot of the VCs kind of think to themselves, hold on a second, we didn't get into Solana because that was taken up by Multicoin and taken up by SBF, but we can try and make the same out of Near because technologically they're probably pretty equal, though I do personally believe Solana is better technology. But I think Near is super interesting.
Where do you see Near as a niche? Like, what area of the world is Near going to grab onto?
So I don't think it's found a niche yet, but tell you one thing. I think you spoke about Solana. I think Solana is going to be NFTs. And the reason why I said that is so blockchain volume is down across chains and whatever else. I'm just trying to find us something from my research deposit. I just want to show you the blockchain statistics for Solana. So here we go. Here it is. Let me just see how I can do this. Yeah, I can quickly just share the screen. And I can show you guys the blockchain.
I mean, it's dropped a lot. It was like 15 million at its peak, and it went sub a million, I'm pretty sure.
Hold on. So there's the OpenSea NFT transaction, daily transaction on Solana. You're talking about the peak of the bear, so to speak. So this is what the transactions on OpenSea look like for Solana. Let me show you something else. I must say, I've been really enjoying your show. I was supposed to be having Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, bro. Father's Unite.
I started listening to you guys. It was an absolute brilliant mix of technical analysis, trading. I think you could have been a bit more DJing, and you should have fucking taken that short. I mean, you guys were sitting on the edge. Jump in, take the short. Do what I did. I mean, I went long 18,250 and then short 19,750. So I'm kind of like, I'm now.
We got the long. We got the long at 17.6, and I closed at 19.6. That was good. But we didn't take the short. We should have done it, but we were waiting for 20K, but we didn't.
Yeah, I wanted 20 on the. We wanted 20 on the nose. Just felt right. So we got.
Yeah, but it depends what kind of range. Like I'm thinking this thing's coming back down to say 18.2, 18.3 before it goes back up. I spoke to Sheldon. Sheldon gave me 20,200. I know when Sheldon gives me 20,200, that means get your trade in at 20, because otherwise you're going to be front run.
Interesting that we had the same trade as Sheldon.
We had the same
without
trade.
Even conferring with him.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I went 20,000. I went 19,700. Long 18,250. Short 19,750. I'm now still short at 19,750. And I think around 18.5, I'm going to close that and then look for direction. I do think that direction is up. So on my spot account, which I'll show you guys in a second, I have been degening so hard into Bitcoin and ETH. If my wife only finds out, I am one dead motherfucker.
I can't believe you're being allowed to come into the office on Father's Day. Like that's dedication to the community,
We've got crypto school, which starts in a second. So I mean, don't show this to my wife. If you show this to my wife, I'm a dead motherfucker. But hold on.
Hit the turn off the camera. Turn off the camera.
I've got to show you what I did this weekend. I want to just make sure I'm not revealing any. I want to make sure I'm not revealing any keys or. Okay, so this is what I did this weekend. If this goes wrong, I'm dead. Okay,
Doghouse.
Do a 3AC.
I bought 32 Bitcoin.
Fucking hell.
And I bought 82 ETH. And I've only got 38 grand left in USD. That's all I've got left. I've got like 40 grand left. I think I'm going to go all in. Yeah, no, I'm in. This is money that I shouldn't have been touching, but here I am, and it's in.
Nah. Yeah. Did you hear us before talking about me trying to grab hold of my my superannuation in Australia? I'm going to start fucking
I heard
averaging that in as well. Yeah, that's the next
Crazy.
step, man. Self-managed super fund, and then going to get in at the bottom. I'll be laughing, absolutely laughing. It's the way forward.
I'm finding everywhere to scrape cash from. Share portfolios, like old accounts, like just anywhere I can get cash together. It's
This
just
has got to
happening.
be. I don't know if this is the bottom. Look, I'll say that I think it is the bottom, but I don't want to call it bottom because I think calling a bottom is just not gonna work. Doesn't matter whether or not this is the bottom. When you see cascading liquidations, forced liquidations in crypto, when you see price moving down so quickly, when you see sentiment so low, when you break technical levels, when you break last bull run's high, you basically checked every single box for hitting a bottom. Now, okay, maybe it'll go down to 14 grand. I think when Bitcoin gets to $1 million, nobody cares whether you bought it at 14 or at 18.5. No one's gonna care. So that's my attitude. That's why I'm aping in. Guys, I've got to jump off because my school started 4 minutes ago, but I did promise you guys I was gonna jump on. So here I am. Much love to you guys. I must say I love this format. I think you guys and a bottle of wine is the ultimate in technical fundamentals and shit talk. Yeah,
technical DJ shit we have.
Yeah, I think wine, meth, and
hey, don't tell Big Boy, bro.
Oh no!
Yeah, people asking about Mashinsky. I actually reached out to Mashinsky. He hasn't got back to me. Anyway, guys, I've got to jump. Otherwise, I'm going to have a very cross bunch of students. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Well done. Amazing stream. Amazing stream. Really loved it.
Thank you for joining.
Loved it.
Thanks, bro. Have fun.
Awesome. Enjoy. That's hilarious. That's hilarious, though. If you guys want, look, I probably shouldn't be doing this, but if you guys want to see the original meth joke that set all this off, it's around the 2-hour mark. So it's like between 2 hours and 2:03. That's going to be your golden range.
Oh, no.
Should I screen record it and post it on Twitter?
No, please
Sounds
don't.
tricky.
It's bad. I feel bad.
No. Yeah.
Bad,
I mean, look,
bad.
It's like it's a joke.
It's a joke.
And we made our peace with our real thoughts on it.
We did.
I think what Rand just said is completely right.
The right thing. About Nia.
My face is so itchy. Sorry if I'm touching my face all the time. It's so itchy. It's like I'm on like Percocets or something.
About Nia, is that what you're talking about in relation to what Rand said?
No, about DCAing into Bitcoin. Like he's right.
We're
in a generational buy zone. So okay, you can sit here and you can go, I'm going to pick the bottom. I'm going to wait for the bottom. The issue with that is we don't know when the bottom is going to come.
No.
So my strategy here is to average in when things are looking grim like they are at the moment. Could they get a lot worse? Yes. But in a few years' time, you're not going to care whether you bought at 14K, 18K, 20K, 25K. It's all going to be the same. Now, for these shit coins, yes, you got to be a lot stricter with your entries because they're going to drop hard and some of them may never recover. But for your Bitcoin and your ETHs, you know they're going to be around. DCA, that's what I'm doing. All right. Yeah. So would you agree?
I've been doing that. We've been doing that for a while. So I did that, started doing that a while back, still going little amounts. Don't go all in. Just take a bit here, a bit there. It's not going to kill you to hold off a little bit more. If you get it on the way up, you get it on the way down, just a little bit at a time. But bro, I feel like
I know. I'm aware.
I feel like I'm gonna have to, it's 10:12 in Melbourne here. And I've got a big day tomorrow. Massive day tomorrow.
What time are you getting up?
I'll be up at 6. So 12 o'clock now. Serious? Up at 6. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah.
Well, just because Sounds Tricky ruined his day tomorrow. The one
for the team, give us a follow, give us a like.
The one thing you can do to make him feel better is following him. You're already up 220 from the stream.
Oh, bang. Happy days. Thanks, everybody.
Link in the description to follow him. The other thing you can do to make us happy is to sign up for a BYBIT account and deposit. Link in the description. That would also make us happy. The other thing you can do to make us happy is smash the like button. Just annihilate the like button and subscribe, of course.
Hey, just to throw just something else to throw out there while we're talking about this stuff. Smash the like button or give us a join BYBIT, jump on board. What about we finish this next Sunday night?
Yeah, let's make you happy. So if you guys make us happy, We want to make you happy. Obviously, that's how it works. We all make each other happy. How we're going to make you happy is next Sunday night. We're going to go through the rest of this, or at least
we'll be back.
The next, probably the whole rest of this. This gets juicy. This gets interesting. And by next weekend, I'm sure we'll have more stuff on this list.
Maybe we'll ask Richard Hart to twerk on the show for us. Is that a good twerk?
Look at you going
I think it's a shit twerk.
Richard Hart's going to twerk on a show for us. Yeah, because he's a fucking man.
Yeah, the problem is you're making me cough because I'm sick and I'm laughing. This is great. That is a terrible idea, but that's also the greatest idea I've ever heard.
Let's get some twerking actually going on next Sunday.
I don't know if this crosses the line of responsibility, but we should do a live crypto drinking game.
No, we shouldn't. We should do 5 live crypto drinking games where we get plastered and wasted.
Like a little girl laughing because I'm trying to keep in the cough. Yeah, so my laugh's going upper register because if I do my normal laugh, I start coughing. What do you think? We do like I don't know, guess the token, or maybe we do live leverage trades, and whoever makes, we could do this is actually a fun idea. What do you think? All right, you have like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
You have 5 minutes to open a leverage trade. Whoever makes the most money net in those 5 minutes wins. Loser does
as in open and close the trade within 5 minutes.
Yeah. This is a 5-minute trade. You can trade any altcoin you want.
I'm in.
Anything you want.
And we do the same amount. So let's say we can only do like $100.
What do you guys think of that? Do you guys want that idea?
And then we just see within the space of 5 minutes who can get the highest trade. And that means that.
Hold on. This is the best idea we've ever had.
Is
it?
It's
so good. It's like a game show, right? It's like a fucking
game. Welcome to the crypto game.
All right, 5-minute trades. We gotta we will be literally zooming in like crazy people. Like on
do it. Elizabeth is saying do it. I'll do it with you. Fuck, that's not a good idea, Elizabeth. It's
brilliant.
Not a good idea
LMAO.
at all.
It's called gambling. Absolutely. That show would have nothing to do
This is stupid. We noobs, we all gonna lose money. Something like that. Someone saying
no. This is this is dumb. That is
you guys don't do it. You just watch us do it. We'll fucking do it and just be dickheads and do it.
Yeah,
it'd be hilarious.
You don't need to do you shouldn't.
We'll do. No, we won't do, but we'll do leverage, and we'll do like 20x leverage on $100, and we'll just we have to pick a trade at the same time. So we'll clock on. Literally, we'll start a timer, and we'll clock on the timer. Yeah, clock on. So we got to figure out a trade within the space of whatever. Everyone can see your screen and can see mine. We'll quickly find something. We'll clock on, and then we'll let it run for 5 minutes. We'll watch the 2 trades simultaneously, and then we'll clock off and see who's got the most profit. Bang!
and then loser does a shot. How many rounds?
This sounds bad.
So if it's an hour show, that's 6 rounds. Like 10 rounds technically.
Definitely not financial advice. Yeah, definitely not financial.
So the loser could end up 10 shots deep.
Oh, we could lose $100 in 5 minutes easily if we're going 20x leverage. We could get stopped out. Not even stopped out. We could just get liquidated. It's a stupid idea, but it sounds hilariously fun.
What about what about the overall loser?
Yes, more money. Check out more money. No.
No.
Then it's Bit Boy Show.
Yeah, this will be the name of
the ultimate degen trade show. I think that's what we're doing here. I think that's what we're going. What about we bet on a bunch of shit coins as well at the same time? Like we might just chuck $50 on Croge coin, and if Croge goes up 1000x in the time while we've got it, well, fucking yip-de-doo, we're off.
Oh god! I must say, just as a disclaimer, just because legally
this is peak degeneracy. Yes, Mr. Epic Man, this is exactly what peak degeneracy is.
Drink responsibly and not financial advice.
Okay. All right. Okay. So with this trade, though, should we look at this trade quickly? I think I'm gonna get out of it. I'm gonna cancel it.
Yeah. It's a no-go.
I don't think it's worth leaving this overnight. We may get a bounce up to 20-ish, but I'm not prepared to leave it open overnight if I can't watch it. So
I was enamored by the fact that Sheldon's entry was the exact same as yours. Like, and we didn't talk to him either. So that's
no, which is nice
great
to know.
minds think alike, huh?
It is good to know that
Even though
we're
we
all
didn't
on
even
this.
get in. At least we got into. Is this the most nuts show we've ever done? Gotta be.
I don't know. I can't think of anything that we've done that's this crazy before.
Well, like my shows are usually so. You guys see me serious, but like
3.5 hours. Wow.
I just want to have fun. Like I just want to have fun.
This is what we're trying to do. We're just trying to have a little bit of fun here, guys. We're just trying to get away from the staleness of everything else that's going on, and let's just have some fun. Let's buy HEX. Yeah, Scott, that's fucking bang on. Let's buy HEX and watch our money turn to zero. We'll see who can get. We'll see who can get to zero the quickest by buying HEX.
We can give you guys. Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. We can give you guys the same alpha. I can give you guys a buy list, and I can be super serious and run through a buy list, or I can give you guys the buy list and at the exact same time be an idiot with the same amount of alpha.
Yeah,
just it's much better to watch.
Yeah, let's be.
Anyway.
I'll be the degenerate and you be the alpha. Easy.
Yeah. All right,
let's find some crazy shit. But I think that's it. Yeah, I got to bounce. I got to crash. So thanks everybody from my end.
Cool.
Thanks, Miles.
See you later, bro.
Well, thank you. That was awesome. That was so much fun.
That was fun, and Rand liked it. Cool. He's the boss.
He's the boss. But I reckon we do it, man. Next Sunday night, or whatever time it is for everyone, like 3 hours ago.
Well, okay, so I'm in Bali then, which is might be better. No, well, it might be better because I'll have access to like a whole minibar.
Oh, you can fully sit by the pool and do this show.
Oh, I could sit by the pool. Like, we have a massive villa, by the way. It's going to be awesome. Sit by the pool.
I'll build a crypto den. Oh, man. Pool, vodka, martinis, happy endings. It'd be awesome. Massages.
Happy endings.
Okay, sorry.
All right. We got to
Okay, cool.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Peace out.